I'll never let it go. Yeah, just a few more chains and I'll get away. Just a few more things I gotta get out my way. Nah, I'm never turning back. I know it sounds so bad, but baby, I'm fired up. So I don't
You're muted on Discord. I don't know if you know. Hello everybody, and welcome to today's League of Legends stream. I'm once again joined by last semester's A-Team captain Lil PowPow, and I am Bjorddd. And I'm so excited to get into our week 1 matchup here today versus Sacramento State. How are you doing, PowPow?
I'm doing great, especially after last week. If any of y'all missed it, we got to see our new ADC Mascara get a pentakill. So I'm excited to see what the Texans are going to bring out today.
Excellent. As we head into draft here, I believe both teams indicated there already, so there'll be it looks like there's a little bit of confusion on both sides because the draft has not started, which is awesome. So
sometimes when all the NECC teams are playing, the draft lull can get a little overloaded on their website and cause some late queues. That might just be what we're experiencing here, but they might just have to remake the link.
Yeah, it looks like that is what's happening, so we'll wait and see when the new link. Oh man, you love to see it. Classic League experience.
Yeah, not to mention League clients. Anyone that has been on it today knows it's been having plenty of issues. Like
you have no idea the things I had to put up with last semester and the semester before when it comes to just this client in general.
A small indie company, you know.
Oh, looks like they're gonna try to use the same link. There we go. We're in. Oh. Draft has begun. Sacramento State will start with their first ban. So it looks like we got all the technical things sorted out, and without hesitation, NASA's taken off the board.
I mean, if you're going against Gimmick the Mimic, what else can you do? You know, you have to get rid of that Nasus, or he'll just steamroll your team.
Only a little bit targeted, nonetheless. Continue here to see Tarleton's first ban. In case anyone is at home is wondering which jungler we were playing with today, because we featured 2 in our activation series, it will be Big China 63 will be our jungler for today's match.
Looks like the Janet band targeting Val the Grand in bot lane.
And Tarleton leads with the Yone, which I believe I have been informed that their top laner is a Yone player, which is very interesting because it kind of mirrors my own gameplay. That is my highest mastery champ in top lane.
Like
not that anybody asked.
Katarina as well. That's a very, very annoying pick. You don't really like to go against Katarinas. Typically, the only type of people that play them are one tricks too. So they must have some intel on that in the mid lane.
Yeah, very interesting as we get to see the final 2 bans before we get our first selections for both sides. J4, perhaps.
That is interesting, because normally J4 is a champion you'd like to first pick on blue side. It looks like perhaps Sac State just doesn't play it, and they don't want Tarleton to get it as well.
Unfortunately, we'll be missing out on that nuke combo from the Malphite and the J4 that we got to see last week, at least in this first game. And the final ban for Tarleton will be Warwick, in case we missed that one. So let's see what Sacramento State decides to go with here. Getting a hover on the Kane. I wonder how viable is this champion in these matches. It is going to get locked in. I believe that should be
Kane
jungle.
Is typically a solo queue champion just because he relies a lot of just be able to get ahead on random parts of the map, and it's a little bit harder in comp just because you have voice comms and everything, and that can kind of slow down Kane's stacking. However, if they're able to pull it off, it can be pretty strong.
Yeah, we'll see if that ends up working out in their favor. In the meantime, Tarleton will mirror the jungle pick. They will lock in the Vi for Big China 63. Something I haven't seen him play as much, actually. But I'm very interested to see how that one goes.
Yeah, very classic 5v5 champion. Really good at allowing to set up their team so then you can follow on with a bunch of extra CC or damage and secure a kill.
Yeah, strong pick without a doubt. Oh, and I love this here. This is one of in my opinion, one of Mascara's strongest AD carries.
I haven't seen him too much on it, so it's going to be interesting here. But if he can get ahead, or if he can just survive till 30 minutes, he can definitely just 1v9 on that champion.
Do you recall ever, do you remember the top lane Zeri pick that y'all played with?
Oh, I do. Man, that's a throwback.
Wow, so Sacramento State, they are really going all in on this snowbally. They have locked Draven. Wow. They really want to get ahead in these laning phases. It worries me slightly for Tarleton's bot lane because the tendency during activation was an early death between levels 1 through 3, and against Draven, that is bound to potentially happen if you get caught. And Draven Pantheon, yeah. The aggressiveness, they're not taking their foot off the gas at all in week 1.
Yeah, Pantheon, pretty smart pick right there. It could be a flex pick. It could go mid lane, jungle, or support. So just having to be able to go into 3 different roles can make it a little harder for Tarleton to pick on their 3rd pick right here.
And I'm no expert, but considering the aggressive looking draft, I would think that is a Pantheon support.
Oh yeah, it would definitely be good into the Zeri. However, Emilio able to use his Q to knock off the Pantheon whenever he jumps midair. And if you time it right, you can actually just prevent the CC from happening at all.
That's a very interesting interaction. Final 2 bans here now for both sides. Seeing the bot lane rounded out as well as the jungle. We're going to get an Ornn ban from Tarleton.
Now, it's not too common, but I know the Baus plays it where he does go Kane top lane.
Oh.
However, I don't know if we'll be seeing that tonight, but it is a possibility.
And I've actually played it a few times myself. It is I would consider it like a scaling champion, really, because once you unlock the form from trading with your opponent enough in the lane, at red form really tends to put in work, and you're not as under-leveled as you are in jungle, getting more of that solo XP from the lane. So it works. It's definitely a possibility.
It looks like they're going to go ahead and get rid of the Swain again, targeting Gimmick. I wonder if they'll try to triple ban him here. Try to limiting his champ pool. No, I don't know if you've mentioned it or not yet, but this is Fearless tonight. So we are in a best of 3, and so after game 1, all these champions will be automatically banned. And so it's going to be pretty interesting to see. It forces a lot of unique comps, a lot of new things that you don't get to see too often. So if this does go to a game 3, it's going to get really interesting.
Final ban here for Sacramento State is going to be Dr. Mundo. And I don't know your opinion on it, but I actually like the Fearless drafts. I almost feel it forces teams to get a little creative, like you said, with different compositions and whatnot. And also, like, it's more skill expression the more champions you're able to play, as more taken out of the pool between each game. So I actually like the style. I don't know your opinion on it, but I enjoy it for sure.
Yeah, I love the style as well. I wish we could have played in it last semester when I was playing.
Oh, man.
I have a very big champ pool, so I like to, like you said, it's a great way to show it off, show a lot of skill expression. And a lot of the times you go against teams and they have a bunch of one tricks, and instead of having to ban them, they get automatically banned after a game, which can be very handy. But you definitely do have to dig deep, especially if you go into game 3 or in the best of 5s going all the way to a game 5.
Yeah, exactly, especially in those BO5s. So Gimmicks can go ahead and lock in the Mel here with a few of his champions taken out. So he goes ahead and settles on this one. I don't know if there's been buffs to Mel recently. I thought there was in a recent patch. Maybe that patch hasn't been released yet, but I'd heard some rumors about that.
I mean, we saw last week how powerful it can be, especially as soon as she gets her items. Like, I don't know if you remember, but last week, Gimmick hitting that triple E stun and just deleting the entire enemy team. Yeah, if she can just get some lockdown, which she does have the buy for, definitely do a lot of damage.
And we're going to get an Aurora as the final pick locked in. I would assume that would be Aurora top lane.
Yeah,
Galio
so
top
far
is another possibility, but
most likely the Galio into Mel, and then like you're talking about earlier, the Pantheon Draven bot lane just have that mega damage. Looks like they definitely want to play through them, especially with the global ulti mid lane and an assassin jungler.
And let's see what... yes, Tom Kench. That will be what Mr. Gold ends up settling on to round out Tarleton's composition. So with the draft complete, my biggest question is how Tom Kench actually plays into this Aurora. Because Aurora can definitely be a frustrating matchup for a lot of top laners.
Yeah, I feel like it's going to be rough early on. However, Tom Kench is one of those champions where it doesn't matter what items he's got. If he just hits you with a few auto attacks and a Q, it'll just take out half your HP bar.
Yeah, very interesting. Nevertheless, we're about to head into game here. You see both teams indicating they're ready. Perfect.
So far, I'm really liking the Mr. Gold pick here in top lane. The Tom Kench, like we saw last week, his ult can just save his teammates in some really bad situations, especially when the enemy team is playing such a heavy damage comp. If they can just survive that initial combo, which Tom Kench is great at, they should be able to survive long enough and win the team fights.
I'm very curious to see how this composition plays out for Sac State. It just seems so aggressive and like so snowbally almost. See as we get all the runes and sums finalized here for both teams before we get like about 2 to 3 minutes of spectator delay. And we'll see if Mascara and Valagran have learned anything from week 1 when it comes to these early engagements, early fights in bot lane, as this is a greater test than any of them, really.
Yeah, like we're talking about earlier in drafts, like they really just want to snowball with the comp, or Sac State does. So if they can just slow down that bleeding, or just not allow them to get that snowball and that advantage, and just be able to cruise out to late game, it's definitely what Tarleton wants. But we just got to see how they're gonna go about it.
There we are with everything finalized here. We're going to get the spectator delay in just a moment. Although the lobby might have dissolved.
Looks like it kicked everyone out. That's very interesting.
Okay. Well, we figure out the tech issue. I am going to cut it to break shortly here, guys. But hopefully we'll be right back. Okay, guys. Tech issue fixed, lobby's been remade, and we're back.
Let's hope it doesn't crash again. But hopefully it'll go through. We'll be able to watch some League of Legends.
Yeah, that's the hope. Runes and Sums pretty much instantly locked in for Tarleton, wasting no time. And of course during spectator delay, yeah, Draven, perfect. And of course during spectator delay, we'll go over some of the champions that we're seeing from both sides, per usual. Okay.
No!
This is getting a little insane. And I wonder, if it's a Tarleton side thing or a, Sac State side thing. I guess I'll be figuring that out. Mascara clearly having fun with it. But yeah, we'll cut it to break once again. Sorry about the tech issues, guys. Tough break for us. Well, this would not be a Tarleton State Week 1 League of Legends stream without its fair share of tech issues and issues with the league client in general. So, finally, we are getting into game, hopefully, as we cross our fingers here. That 5-second countdown, we'll know by the end of that if we get into game. Oh, that's already a great sign, actually. The lobby has not crashed.
Well, come on, League. You can do it. Stuck at 0. Might do it.
It's okay. This was doing it last week. I think it's just done.
Okay.
Yeah, so I think we're good
It's
this time.
3 minutes.
Yeah,
Oh,
I
let's
believe
go.
so.
Just make
Yeah,
sure,
we're
but it looks
good.
like it worked
We're
out.
good. We're good.
Oh.
Yeah, here we go. Finally gonna get into game. So let's talk about some of these champions here. I want to start with let's just go with Kane because we don't really see that one played too much often. Talk about some of the abilities and like ways the champion gets played.
Yeah, so Kane, his Q's a little dash. It can be a little bit annoying to deal with because it can go over thin walls around the map. So you have to be careful when doing Dragon or Baron that the Kane can't just Q over and steal it. I mean, his E as well allows him to walk through walls. You really have to be, you have to have a lot of good vision, a lot of good setup, so you don't accidentally have a Kane coming over a wall and just scaring you. But besides that, his ultimate, he gets to go up into an enemy champion that he damages, and he can't take any damage during this, so it can be really good as a stall tool as well. But the main part about his kit, which I'm sure you're well aware of, is his passive. And basically, whenever he damages enemy champions, he slowly builds up his passive, and if he damages a lot of melee champions, he gets his red form, and if he damages a lot of ranged champions, he gets his blue form. The blue is like more of an assassin, and the red's more of like a bruiser that can lifesteal and heal a lot. This game, we'll probably be looking to see more of that blue form, since you might want to instantly pop the Zeri, Milio, or the Mel. However, since the Tom Kench and Vi are in the game, he might also look to go that red just to survive their PC and damage and everything. What form would you go here?
I would have to probably go with the red in this one. Not enough squishy targets, in my opinion, for the blue form to be as effective. And the red form's just guaranteed value too, with a lot more sustain, like you were saying. And you basically heal like for your entire health bar when you're coming out of the ult too. Almost, at least when you have that ultimate level 3. So I would probably go with the red form here, but it's playable both ways if you're snowballing. But I'm really looking forward to see how that one plays out. Or what
I
he
just thought of
decides
it
to
too.
do.
Red form, his W knocks up whenever he's red form, so it might be a good follow-up to a Pantheon W or a Galio taunt.
Red Kane is an excellent team fighter. And then on the Tarleton side, yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, I mean, right there, Zeri, she's just really good at kiting. So they have a lot of melee champions on SAC State side. You know, you have Kane, Pantheon, Galio, and Zeri. That's where she excels at. She likes creating that distance, that space as her ult. It can last forever as long as you're hitting the enemy champions, and it gives her movement speed. So you'll kind of just see Mascara going in and out, running around them, running some laps.
Yeah, really curious
able
to
to
see
pull it off.
The Zeri Milio combo. If it ends up working out here for Tarleton. But without further delay, we'll be heading into game with the end of spectator delay.
It only took 30 minutes, but here we are. Getting to game 1. Let's get it.
We made it. Awesome.
Oh, let's go. First thing I saw while on loading screen, Draven is going lethal tempo. While that is a viable rune set, typically into these kill lanes, they'll take PTA or fleet footwork as it can help just get those early level kills since he doesn't have to stack up his auto attacks. But if he does want to scale and play later on, it's not a terrible rune to have.
Yeah, that's interesting. Few pings coming out here on the map just for some grouping, but not really seeing any targeted invades, nothing like that. It's the usual setup from both teams.
What you do want to pay attention early on is a lot of Kanes, they like to start the enemy Raptors. So you kind of see Kane hovering in the river right now. He might look to go and try and steal. However, Tarleton, they might be aware of this strategy as most Kane players do it, and that's why Gimmick's just kind of standing post at it and might put a ward down.
Oh. Gold gonna get off a few auto attacks on the Aurora. Procs electrocute, unfortunate miss of the Q. I am curious to see how that matchup ends up going for Mr. Gold. As I mentioned in the draft, Aurora is definitely a frustrating pick for most top lane champions.
It's like Val was able to get that sneaky Q to go past Pantheon and hit the Draven. First I was like, man, he just missed that point blank Pantheon, but it seemed like he had a 200 IQ play in mind.
Yeah, there's a plan all along. Extra tick of damage,
clean,
making the difference.
Clean Zeri Chroma right there, got the Tarleton purple. I will say the solo lanes might be a little rough this game, as Aurora would probably counter Tahm Kench with her range advantage, and then of course Galio into a mage. Definitely be a more better suited for him. However, with the Vi, she's able to get a lot of early ganks off. She can flash Q an enemy almost just coming right out of the river and instantly hitting them without them giving any reaction time. We might be able to see some early ganks from Big China here.
So our bot lane will hit level 2 first. It's interesting. It looked like Pantheon started W. I guess to try to get off some of that early damage, connect on the stun. Like you see right there, insta ignite, and all-in attempt onto Mascara is going to do a massive chunk of his health bar.
Early ignite used. I mean, it's good to get that extra damage. However, Mascara still has his barrier, so... Oh, Pantheon flash.
Oh, wow. This bot lane is so aggressive. Clearly, you see the game plan. Looking for these early kills onto the Zeri. Mascara is able to live with about 1 HP and get out of there. Has to use both sums, though.
That's definitely not the best to take an early recall like that. However, Pantheon doesn't have any tools to really try and kill Mascara now, at least for the next 3 minutes. So hopefully they'll be able to give him a little bit of breathing room.
Yeah, the only advantage is, well, I say the only advantage, Tarleton does have both the Milio sum still available. It'll be Draven with the barrier over Mascara.
Gimmick using his range really well so far in this matchup. Able to just poke the Galio more than himself, even though Galio does get a little bonus MR shield. He gets a little CS advantage as well.
Unfortunately, Mascara did miss 1 wave of XP there in bot lane because he was forced to take that early recall. But like you said, Pantheon without any of those sums or tools to be able to kill him here for the, hopefully the next 3 minutes. We'll see if Tarleton uses that to their advantage.
Yeah, you can see Vi's looking a bot lane around here. Definitely would be a good gank timer, since Pantheon wouldn't be able to get away if Vi were to gank. That's the one downside of using so many sums early on, is you leave yourself opened up. Especially because Tarleton here, you can see they're kind of freezing the wave towards their side. It's like they are aware of this and are warding the Vi gank though.
Good awareness from Sacramento State for sure. And with no gank opportunity, it seems Big China's just going to go ahead and take his base. Nice Q there from
Very
Mr.
surprising
Gold.
here. both the solo lanes are actually pretty up right now on their individual lanes. Able to get their waves pushed out and hopefully be able to get a free reset here soon.
And is the mid one a counter matchup as well? Did you mention that?
Yeah, just the Galio, anytime he's into any mage, he normally just is able to counter them unless they space him really well, which is Gimmick is playing so far very well. His HP bar is staying close to 100%.
Yeah, you can see the CS difference as
Galio's
well.
doing a lot. And I mean, honestly, Mascara is not down too much at all, only down about a wave, which is just the one that he missed. But so far, he's CSing pretty cleanly, even though the Pantheon's applying a lot of pressure.
Yeah, and actually when he took that first base, he was down like at least 10 to 15 CS. He has even that gap now to 6. As he's made his way back into the lane. So you love to see that from an experienced player in Mascara. Gonna take a bit of damage there. I say a bit, more than half his HP bar is gone. Nevertheless.
Thankfully, Milio is able to give a little bit of healing and shields. Can get him up a little bit.
Kane's kind of hovering around this first Drake. Tarleton does have that scuttle though. Oh, and look at this. Kane has actually made his way into the enemy jungle. He might look to eat through the wall and find a gank opportunity on the Mascara. Don't know if they're quite aware of this one. As we'll see, dodges the W there from the Kane. Q does connect onto both players, but it looks like they'll be able to get away with their lives.
Ooh.
Valdegrand forced to use the exhaust and flash, but still no kills yet. And that's honestly not the worst result.
Yeah, both of them got very low there. It looks like it kind of worked out. Mascara walked forward as soon as Kane W'd. Just dodging that skill shot allowed him to live.
And Pantheon did invest the Ignite once again. Pretty good combo there from Galio onto Gimmick.
That's the thing, you can try to space him, but if you can get one combo off, he'll just chunk you like that. That's how Galio just works so well into these mages.
And as a result of the bot gank, it's going to be first Drake secured. Big China's trying to remove some of that vision, but Sacramento State are having none of it. They will force him out of the bush. Oh, and unfortunately, Mr. Gold has to cancel the backport, takes another electrocute proc. Does have TP available, so if he's able to get off one of these bases, that would be ideal for the Kench. Speaking of canceling bases, Big China looked to cancel Pantheon there, but he's forced to flash for it. A little unfortunate.
So Mascara is able to get a BF sword on his back here. That's really huge as an ADC, because typically if you can't get that, you just feel so weak for so long, but having that little damage amp will definitely make this Pantheon be more wary before jumping in.
Oh, see if Mascara is able to cancel, and he does. Another nice cancel there. And Draven's sitting on no mana. How do you really fight this if you're Sacramento State? I don't think you do. Mascara is having none of it. He's going in.
Yeah, using his item advantage right now. He does more damage than Draven just because of having that BF sword over the longsword. Just canceling this bases. Looks like Big China's cancel actually worked out really well for this bot lane, just letting them get some pressure back down where they needed it.
Yeah, absolutely.
Pantheon does have level 6 now, so you might see him roam around the map and just try to ult. Or sometimes what they'll do is they'll roam mid and have the bot lane get baited in a little bit and then ult behind them and try to engage. So we might try to see some sneaky plays here on Sacramento's side.
Honestly, if you're Tarleton, I feel like you are very happy with how this early game has gone.
Absolutely. When you're playing to scale like this, your bot lane not dying before 6 is very huge, especially against a Draven. Since whenever Draven gets a kill, he cashes in on all of his stacks, which gives him a bunch of extra bonus gold. And so just denying him those kills makes him not really have that advantage that most Dravens want early on.
Oh, if that Q connects there for Mr. Gold, he might be able to all in with the ultimate, but fortunately misses. I will say the only disadvantage Tarleton has currently is losing that Drake and the 3 grubs here to start out. But besides that, not the worst early game.
Typically when you're a scaling comp like this, it's not the end of the world to give some early objectives. You just got to start worrying about whenever they start getting soul point or really close to the herald and whatnot, just having to worry about the feats of warfare.
Kane's going to look for a gank opportunity onto the Kench. But a good W from Mr. Gold as he tries to save himself. Ultimate. And I think that is going to be more than enough to finish him off, and it will. RC with a nice one there. Gets the flash out of Mr. Gold as well and finishes him off with the kill.
I would say there that Kane ultimate, just be able to wait up in the sky, wait out Tompkins' shield, then go down and execute him. Very well played there by the Kane.
And it's so difficult for some of these like Tarleton solo lanes and stuff too, is, as you were mentioning, just because Kane can kind of come from anywhere. Like, you might ward in the river or something, but if you don't have vision in these other random parts of the map, you just eat through the wall and pretty much catch you by surprise, as he did right there.
And we see here, since Draven never got his base off, Tarleton's just been able to have full control of bot lane here, allowing Mascara just to stay really even in CS.
And check it out, Gimmick is going to make his way down as well.
Ooh, looks like they might try to set up a dive here.
See if Gimmick is able to connect the root. Not quite. Even the ultimate invested as well from Gimmick, just to chunk these players a little more. They're going to clear the wave as quickly as possible. Let's see if they get any support from their own jungler, and RC. Doesn't look like he's going to be heading that direction. Tarleton could continue to shove this out, and Pantheon canceling the base yet again.
I'm surprised they want to stay there, especially with the Vi hovering. Looks like they might try to counter gank here. But Big China doesn't have any of his camps up, so he doesn't mind having to wait.
There's the Vi ultimate.
Frags going in.
Tarleton looking to secure these frags. Mascara, he's going to find it onto Metu. Big China's actually going to go down, but it's an execute. So not the worst case scenario. And now RC has made his way over. I don't know if Mascara has any way out. Doesn't look like he does. One more Q should do the job. And there, oh, Barrier's going to be invested as well. He's going to go down no matter what, but wasting time, not the worst.
Say that works out pretty well in Tarleton's favor because the Vi is able to execute like you said, so it denies them gold from there. And then you also get a kill on Draven, which removes 75% of his stacks, I believe. So now even if he does get a kill, he won't receive nearly as much of gold as he would have before his death. So just already denying him that is huge and great for Tarleton to help slow down their snowball comp. Looks like Mascara is also able to get his first item here. Might be able to give Tarleton a chance to get this dragon. However, Kane does have Eclipse.
Here we go. It's a fight going down in top lane between Mr. Gold. There's the swallow. Let's see if it's more than enough. Maybe one more Q could do it. There's the flash. Oh, man. Flame Feet showing off some of the mechanics there as he's able to get the solo kill onto Mr. Gold. A nice attempt there from the Kench. Didn't quite work out, though.
Looks like Vi might try to pick up a kill here.
Woo! Oh, can't quite do it. Flash Q connects, but not enough damage there.
Yeah, we're getting off just 10 HP, able to survive. And Tarleton also loses the second dragon. But they still, now at least Mascara does have a CS lead, which is definitely what they want for their hyper carry.
Gimmick sitting on about 30 CS lead as well as the Aurora for Sacramento State.
This is when you have to be really careful about, for Tarleton about overextending. You have that Pantheon ultimate and the Galio ultimate on Sacramento's side, so they can kind of catch you wherever they want around the whole map. So you just have to play grouped up. I like how so far they haven't been taking too many risky fights.
And the lead's sitting about 1K, so definitely nothing unmanageable, especially if you're still playing the scale like Tarleton's composition is.
Gimmick's just able to walk out freely. Let's see the Kane mid lane. Looks like Vi might try to look for a repeat gang bot lane here. No flashes on Sacramento's bot lane.
And I'd imagine Kane is also getting pretty close to form now that we're nearing the 13-14 minute mark. Usually see these Kanes, at least in, like when I play him, I played him in top lane. I get it around 15-20 minutes. I don't know if it works the same for jungle or not, but I'd imagine it's kind of similar-ish.
Yeah, the Kanes I see typically get it around that same timer as well, especially whenever you're in these 5v5, since there's a lot less fights happening. As you see, there's only been a total of 4 kills, while your typical solo queue game can already have 20. So
yeah,
it definitely does slow down Kane's passive. However, since he has gotten a majority of the kills, he's probably around halfway, if I had to guess.
Yeah, that's a pretty good estimate. Once again, no objectives on the map currently, so Tarleton will just be kind of CSing this one out.
Big moment for Tarleton. Looks like most of Tarleton's side, they're getting their first items ready, which is definitely when you might see them starting to contest these objectives, try to slow down Sacramento's Dragon Soul. Also
There we
interesting,
go.
Raven's going to lethality build. Ooh, yeah, gank top lane. Aura is able just to get out though with her R. Whenever she hits that wall, she's able to basically just bounce back to the exact opposite side of the ring. And it looks like she's able to buffer the Vi ultimate pretty well.
Oh, Q connects there, but Kane's going to be around. Big China's going to have to make his way back up towards top lane. It doesn't look like he's going to be getting anything out of this as of yet. I'm curious, do you think if Big China held his ultimate, he would have been able to connect after the Aurora reposition with R?
Yeah, he had to wait it out, but I don't know if he fully expected her to get the ult off before his ult went off. I think they're trying to CC long enough to get the Tom Kench eat, but Aurora just was able to play her ult very well.
And speaking of this Pantheon, he has actually ulted onto the Herald and is enough to take out Big China. So it does leave his bot lane a little bit vulnerable, this Draven. As Mascara just goes and hits the turret kind of for free, but it does also secure that objective. And that is yet another neutral on the board for Sacramento State. Looks like it'd be enough to finish the turret, too.
Yeah, there you go.
And now all-in's going to happen here onto Draven. He's going to flash Galio with the ultimate as well. Qs are landing for Val the Grand. We'll see if he's able to get this finish onto Draven as Mascara is under constant pressure.
Ooh.
Mascara getting that kill, and Gimmick has made his way down as well, so there's no punish, no trade for Sacramento State.
I feel like a lot of things happened right there. Val was able to get a really nice, clean flash ultimate, removing the CC from Mascara, which allows him to pick up that Draven kill, making him further behind, losing all of his stacks once again. Especially because he's going this lethality build, which is really feast or famine. So making Draven already 0-2 without a tower, definitely very good for Tarleton here.
Mr. Gold feeling the pressure now as he sits under his turret. He's been in these positions before, however. Unfortunately, the Herald is going to one-shot it, and I don't think Mr. Gold has any way out of this one. He does not. RC takes him out as they continue to push forward towards this tier 2.
Looks like, yeah, Mascara and Val coming up. Looks like they might try to get this Kane here.
Yeah, the call might be the fight. Q is not enough to finish Big China, but the flash is, and Kane's going to E over the wall. Takes one more tower shot, though, and shut down for Big China.
I mean, Sacramento is having to use both flashes for that play to happen, while Big China is able to hold on to his, getting that shutdown as well. Definitely worthwhile trade.
And
very good run by Mascara and Val there.
Clearly, the call for Tarleton was the fight, as you saw Big China instantly popping the ultimate going in, looking to buy time for his ADC to make his way up. And that's exactly what happened. Does end up going down for it, but gets that big Kane shutdown, which I believe might have been around like 600, 700 gold even in total.
And although Sacramento's been able to get the Tahm Kench very far behind, thankfully Tahm Kench is just one of those champions where it doesn't matter how far behind you are, your ultimate is always going to have mega value, as it can completely just save a teammate or catch out an enemy. Although he's behind, it's not the end of the world for Tarleton. While Mascara, the carry that they want, is able to get a kill, and they're able to pick up their first dragon as well, extending the game by an extra 5 minutes so they can farm for it.
And as you can see, Kane has unlocked the red form here. So that passive fully maxed out.
We got at 18 minutes, so we weren't too far off from our guesstimates.
For the remainder of this game, he's going to be a lot more effective in these team fighting environments. As we see now, Mr. Gold's going to be side laning against the Galio. Has to be careful here, though. Kane on the way. Nice dodge on the W. Well played from Mr. Gold. I believe he's going to be able to get out of there scot-free. Nice job there.
You got to be careful whenever you're Tahm Kench Wing, because if you get CC'd, it cancels it, and you're just stuck there. So making sure to dodge that Kane W and then W away was definitely the play for Mr. Gold. I do like their lane assignments they have here, putting the Tahm Kench against Galio. Now, they're never going to kill each other, but Tahm Kench will be able to farm up for free and get his Heartsteel stacks. And if he gets enough of those, he'll become a demon.
Yeah, I definitely like the idea. And then putting Gimmick to side lane against the Aurora. Not a bad choice whatsoever. He's been able to farm it pretty well so far, sitting at 189 CS.
Looks like he's aware that Kane could be topside as well. It's very important because it seems like Kane just really wants to use his lead at the moment. But if they can just deny him getting any more gold and let Mascara farm up to get his Infinity Edge, that would definitely be the play for Tarleton. It's like we're just going back to nice little farm fest around the map. Nothing too crazy going on. Probably see the next bit of action whenever the 4th dragon spawns.
Otacon has been spawned in here towards bot lane, but it doesn't look like either team's going to be making a play towards that as of yet. Well, there are a few bodies hovering around it now that I say that. Maybe just looking for vision.
Every team just wants to make sure the enemy team isn't going to start it. You'll see that happen a lot where everyone just wants to have it warded up. It's like a lot of pings are coming out on the map. We might see a play happen here soon. All the teams just being really cautious. Let's say Mimic does have the TP advantage. I don't know if Sacramento wants to start anything too early on, because Gimmick the Mimic could just join up and completely change the fight, as 4v5s are a lot harder to play.
But it seems like the Aurora might have a little bit more priority as that wave got shoved in top lane. So she's going to be making her way down to the objective first. So Gimmick is going to be a little bit behind. And yeah, you see the pinks coming through. I'm not sure. They might be starting this objective here soon, depending on if this Aurora continues to work her way down the river.
It looks like they might even try to look to 5-man Mr. Gold here. He now sees them. He's trying to get out. Who gets the W out?
Well, Big China looking to save him, but it might cost both of their lives. Going to flash away. Mr. Gold goes down the RC, and that might be the Otacon call now here for Sacramento. Oh, aggressive Pantheon ultimate. A little bit scary for him. Ultimate invested and shutdown secured for Gimmick. Maybe an overextension there.
I'm surprised their Gimmick slightly missed his E and Q. However, the auto attack on ult is just enough to finish him off, giving him 400 gold.
In the meantime, Mascara does eliminate that turret, and now Tarleton wasted no time. They know that they're doing the Otacon. They're going to work their way in this direction. We'll see if they choose to engage. It's going to be Mascara to lead the charge. Root does connect for Gimmick. Mascara popping his ultimate. Big China goes in. Shut down for Mascara onto Galio. There's Big China's ultimate. Gimmick takes down to second. Third falls. Mascara with the double. And Otacon has been stolen under the wing of Sacramento State by Tarleton.
What a crazy play from our Texans right there. So much again. The Big China getting the ult off to stop the Kane from getting his ult off. And Gimmick hitting a double E on people, just rooting everyone. And of course, Mascara in the back line, just annihilating their team and able to steal that Otacon. That's exactly what you want to happen right there, especially with the scaling comp.
Excellent job. That is a huge neutral to secure for Tarleton. And it makes you really wonder, too, what if Pantheon was there?
Yeah, the Pantheon just getting a little over-aggressive with his ultimate under a tower. Because now it allows Tarleton not only to get the Otacon and Ace, but also Dragon as well. Allowing the scaling comp just to have exactly what they want. Pantheon getting caught again, even.
Yeah,
like
he's trying to escape, but I don't think he has a way out. Galli ultimate invested.
Galio's joining in with them.
But he'll still fall. Big China's going to be targeted here by RC and Flame Feet. He gets taken out. We're going to get another team fight here. RC gets rooted. He's eliminated. Look at this damage. Oh, and Mascara is not stopping. There's the flash. Aggressive. Gonna force Draven's flash as well. There's the ultimate.
Oh, the TP
Tarleton continuing the chase, continuing the pressure. Gimmicks on a rampage.
Sacramento just trying to recover any gold they can from these misplays, but all it does is just dig their grave even deeper. Mascara now 5-1, Gimmick 4-0. These mega shutdowns.
And look
so
how
far,
quickly.
already a big change up for the bot lane for Tarleton over
And
here.
just look how quickly the game is turned on its head. I mean, if you look at this game maybe 5-10 minutes ago, it's pretty comfortable, I'd say, for Sacramento. You don't have a mega lead, but at the same time, it just almost seems like they folded under the pressure here after conceding that objective, feeling like they have to make some sort of play to get it back for losing Otacon. And Gimmick and Mascara take full advantage.
Now down 3k gold. Like we were talking about 5 minutes ago, Sacramento was up a k gold, had every objective on the map, and just in that short period of time, Tarleton now is able to secure 3 objectives of their own and a massive gold lead, especially with their scaling comp. I just gotta say, so far, Mascara and Gimmick are playing their range very well and not allowing Sacramento to pick them off at all.
Oh, you see that heart still stack? Tom Kinch started to do some damage as well, despite the being behind early in his solo lane, which was to be expected against the Aurora matchup. This Tarleton composition is getting quite scary.
Just looking at the CS numbers over here, Gimmick and Mascara are able to hold these really comfortable high CS leads on top of their kills leads that they have. Just gives them a mega gold advantage over their opponents. Now Kane, he's ahead of Big China, and Aurora's ahead of Mr. Gold. It just doesn't matter when you have the gold on the right people on Tarleton.
Oh, Mr. Gold just continues to stack off this Gallia. Baron has spawned in, but we're not going to get any sort of team fight as of yet.
You see, Mascara is now at 90% crit, getting really close to finishing off his last crit item, which is probably going to be LDR. Give him that extra shred. And once Zeri gets to her 100% crit and level 16 with her 3rd point in ultimate, she is just a monster.
Check it out. Mr. Gold has actually spotted the Kane here in bot and has bullied him away. Survives that second gank attempt on him. Tarleton gonna waste no time. They're gonna start the Baron. Unfortunately, Milia's gonna go down. Val the Grand getting caught first. Mascara is trying to clean up. Gimmick and Mascara providing all that damage. Look at the kills. Double for Mascara. The Baron has been secured. No steal for Kane today. Double kill for both Mascara and Gimmick. These 2 carries on Tarleton's team really delivering here.
Mr. Gold is the unseen hero down bot lane. He doesn't have TP, and he knows Galio does. So what does he do? He runs him down, denies Galio being able to ever group up with his team. And that just allows Tarleton to have that 4v4 and just be able to get the Baron and sweep Sacramento State.
And they wasted no time. The gank attempt once again failing for Kane onto Mr. Gold. And as a result, Tarleton immediately starting the Baron, wasting no time. Just immediately grouping. You just love the decision making here.
Yeah, Tarleton's playing it very safe, but at the same time, going aggressive when they have to. Going in whenever it matters the most. As soon as they see Kane bot lane, they pull the trigger on Baron, waiting for that moment. Now we just see Tarleton has built up this massive mountain of a lead. And now they're just trying to figure out how to end out the game.
Yeah, it's looking really good as you have the 6-0 Mel with 3 items. 4 items there. He's sitting at 7-1. It's looking really good for Tarleton. Everything going according to plan.
Just having those ADC and the mid laner have almost 2 items up on their opponents just makes such a huge difference for these team fights. Like we saw even earlier, although Val was able to get picked out, since they went onto him instead of Mascara, Mascara's just able to destroy.
It looks like Kane's going to be the target here. He's going to invest the ultimate onto Mascara. That's a lot of damage. He's going to get shut down. Aurora's going to finish him off. Trade from Mr. Gold onto RC. He's going to continue to chase. Might invest the ultimate here onto Galio. Doesn't need to, actually. Gimmick with the kill. W connects. That is 2 for 2, I believe. As Mr. Gold does end up falling. But Tarleton, they're going to continue to chase. This Drake has spawned in. This team fight is not over.
Tarleton still has Gimmick the Mimic on their team as another Fed carry. And without the jungler on Sacramento's end, Tarleton's just able to start the dragon since they have the smite advantage. Sacramento's going to have to make a play here happen real soon. But Gimmick is just stopping them from getting close at all.
Yeah, it doesn't seem like they're entirely willing to give it up. Big China taking a lot of hits, though. Gimmick's going to be forced to use the Reflect as he continues to poke away at these champions. Aurora taking down pretty low. There's the ultimate from Vi. Big China able to get the finish there onto Flame Feet. And now, see what ends up happening. Val the Grand's going to keep himself alive with his own ultimate. Big China going to be investing the smite here. Gets the Drake, and Tarleton might be looking to back now.
So Pantheon's ulting in, is able to pick off the Milio, but Mascara comes from behind, takes out one, Gimmick takes out another. Oh, looks like they're able to group up on him, but he flashes away. The double knockup for Mr. Gold. Another ace for Tarleton.
It's just incredible synergy, and it just feels like Sacramento's having to salvage this entire game after giving up the Otacon. That's what I felt like has been the turning point, and I've said it from earlier. But Mascara arriving just on time on his respawn to catch all these players, and with Gimmick still alive, you know those two are going to finish the job, and Tarleton's going to look to end this game.
Amazing, great game 1 here. Tarleton, now on paper, they have the weaker lanes, the weaker bot lane. However, they're able to farm it out and just off of one play completely turn the game around and end up taking game 1.
Wow. Incredible job from our Texans. Just an insane mid-game, really, to carry them home there as we take a look at the final stat page as we head into game 2. And it's Mascara to lead the way in the damage department. Just absolutely insane performance, along with Gimmick, who did not die the entire series, or the entirety of game 1. An insane job from our Texans. But we are going to cut it to a short break. We will be back in a few minutes here when we start the draft for game 2. But unbelievable job. Your Texans lead 1-0 here. Alrighty, guys. We are back and heading into the draft for game number 2. As your Texans lead the series 1-0. Take a look here, and I stopped my Spotify. Okay, cool. And we're once again going to get similar bands. As you can also see, the Fearless bands are being shown. Are displayed for y'all. NASA's Jana.
Ooh, I do
Young.
like this new setup. It looks like Draftful has improved their Fearless setup. This is very nice.
Yeah, very cool. I wonder what happens when I close, if I can pull it back up. Oh, yeah, I can. That's very interesting. I like that. Yeah, similar set of bands here as both teams kind of sticking to their game plan, it seems. Swain's going to be removed a little bit earlier this time, as well as
Looks like
Orn.
they definitely want to stop Gimmick the Mimic here from trying to get any of his comfortable champions.
That leads you to wonder what his options are here for mid lane, now that the Mel has also been taken off the board. Has me curious, at least.
Might see his Forbidden Orianna come out. He used to play it a lot, however, he did have to hang it up after being permanently banned.
I believe he also plays Ziggs. Some, maybe Annie.
Yeah, both are good counters into Jarvan, able to stop him from doing too much damage while going in. That's kind of what we were talking about last game. They are blue side, so they went ahead and first picked it. I guess they just wanted to remove some champions. With the Ynar coming out, now this is a matchup I like a lot. Having Ynar into Jarvan, you're always able to dash out of his ultimate and be able to shred him down.
And if you recall, the last time Mascara picked Yunara, he came out of the game with a pentakill. So expect
That's
good
true.
things on this champion here.
Very excited to see what support they want to pair up with.
Yeah, Tarleton in these drafts tending to round out the bot lane with a bot lane support to pick, but not this go around. They're gonna go ahead and match the jungler. They will lock Sejuani in for Big China.
Another classic. We got to see that last week from Big China as well. Game 1, he loves to hover around his bot lane and just be able to ride these very well-placed ultimates, which can definitely turn around the game in Tarleton's favor.
Absolutely. The counter for Sacramento State in the bot lane is going to be Ezreal. Has that global ultimate.
Haven't seen too many Ezreals recently, just hasn't been in the meta. However, he is always a staple pick in games like these just because he's able to have that nice dash to get away, and of course that long range, like you're talking about with that global ultimate. You're able to almost guarantee your ult whenever Jarvan ults someone.
Oh, and interestingly enough, Ziggs is going to be locked in. I believe that's going to be the mid lane pick for Sacramento State. And so that is another gimmick champ technically off the board.
Looks like he's going to have to dig deep in this game to pick out some champions, especially if they keep on banning him.
And that's just the nature of Fearless Draft too, so you love to see it. Curious to see what he elects to end up pulling out. In the meantime, Tarleton are going to round out their bot lane. It's going to be Renata for Val the Grand. This is a champion you see him pick too often?
Yeah, Val, he definitely does like Renata, and the idea he probably wants to do here is so far they're building a comp around Jarvan engaging. However, if Jarvan ults, it almost guarantees Renata ult to hit him, which can just disrupt what Sac State is trying to accomplish with their comp here. So I think it's a very good counter pick from Val here.
Yeah. Definitely like the idea. And we're getting a few more similar bans, it seems, as Tarleton also goes with the Yasuo once again. And if Sac State do end up locking in that Mundo, that will mirror what we saw in the draft of game number 1.
I'm very excited to see what Gimmick pulls out here. After all of his champs being banned or taken away, especially losing his champions in the first game, both Galio and Mel. Kind of wondering what he's going to pull out to have an answer for the Ziggs.
Oh, I'm so curious. Excited to see. Like, can we get anything crazy like a Kale mid lane or something?
I wouldn't be too surprised if he went Malzahar or something. I know that is another champion Gimmick likes. And again, kind of like the Renata idea, if Jarvan goes to ult in, Malzahar could just ult him back and just lock him down, allowing his team to almost get a free kill. However, I don't know if he's played it too much recently, but that is not too hard of a pick to bring out occasionally.
Final ban for Sac State, to no one's surprise, is going to be another mid lane ban. It is Victor, taken off the board. Oh, wow. And I believe that is a mid lane Cho'Gath pick. I forgot about this one. I've seen it before from Gimmick. But I believe that's what we're getting here.
Flex pick. That's what you like to pick on 4, because it could go top lane as well.
Exactly.
It's a nice signature tank top. So this is going to kind of force Sac State to show both their lanes, and they might just give it on to whichever lane they think is easier.
Yeah, and Sac State may not know it yet, but I'm pretty confident that is a Gimmick mid lane Cho'Gath. In the meantime, they're going to get Renekton for Sacramento State, likely in the top lane, or like you said, to match the Cho'Gath pick if they figure out that it's a flex to mid. Guess it kind of depends. I don't really know if I know Renekton counters most melee top laners. Don't know if that's the same for goes the same for Cho'Gath or not.
I don't know too much about the Renekton and Cho'Gath matchup too well, as you don't see it too often. However, I believe it's probably just an even lane, just depending on your jungler. But it might be a Morgana support here with the Ezreal. So it looks like they just have a lot of follow-up on either the Jarvan or Renekton whenever they dash in.
Yeah, I kind of believe it's an even lane as well, because I just know Renekton counters a lot of melee, more auto-attacking champions, I'd say. And finally, Tarleton's
You're right, yeah, it has to be Cho'Gath mid here, isn't it?
Yeah, seems I was correct. The Malphite going to be Mr. Gold's pick, the selection for the top lane. So we got these two massive, I say two, make that 3, like, giga tanky champions for Tarleton. It's going to be a really interesting one for sure. Really excited to get in the game.
Oh yeah, Malphite is definitely I believe he is better into Renekton as he's able to stack that armor, like we talked a lot about last week, just increasing his shield, and is able to almost counteract the engages that Sac is going to try and make here.
And it'll be Cho'Gath playing into Ziggs. And obviously this is a selection, like, I'm pretty sure Gimmick was well aware that the Ziggs pick was for mid lane. So he made this Cho'Gath selection pretty much full knowing that. So we'll see if he's got any tricks up his sleeve for this one. I go ahead and swap my screen here. There we go. Perfect. So we should be getting into game any moment now. Seems like Sac State's asking for a quick second. But I'm really excited.
Yeah, I'm excited to see what what runes he goes here. So I know for a while Hailblade's Cho'Gath was dominant, just allowing to have that triple auto attack to fully proc his E is very powerful. I'm not too for sure what Cho'Gaths go these days.
Especially a Cho'Gath mid into a Ziggs. I actually have no clue either.
So far, a lot of range on Sac State's side. However, Tarleton, they also have a lot of dashes, which allows them to catch up. Having that Sejuani dash and ult, Malphite ult, and then of course Yanara, whenever she procs ult, her E just allows her to get a dash every 4 seconds just about.
I wonder if Gimmick ever opts for one of these hybrid type builds, considering you have a lot of tankiness on your team already. So you build a little bit more AP on the Cho'Gath as well as tank. I'm just really curious.
Yeah, excited to see how it plays out, especially because like we were able to see last game and also just last week, Gimmick is just a very solid solo laner for Tarleton, just able to be one of their carries, and he's able to put his team on his back a lot of the time, especially on champions that he's very confident and comfortable in.
Runes and Sums
so
have
far,
been locked in.
Yeah, a lot of champions that we're pretty familiar with. I guess Renata is probably one of the unique ones on Tarleton's side that we haven't seen yet. For those of you at home, basically, her ultimate sends out this giant wave, and whenever it hits an enemy, it causes them to go berserk, and whenever they're in their berserk state, they attack their own teammates. So this can be very useful, especially if he's able to hit multiple targets. It just causes them to disrupt them for a few seconds, attacking each other, causing some damage, and just allows Tarleton to almost reposition themselves into a more favorable position. But we'll just have to see if Val's able to find some good ultimates here.
In the meantime, it'll be the Morgana locked in for the support on Sacramento's side. And I kind of wanted to highlight this champion because I've seen it come like a lot more meta recently. And it's getting played in jungle. I've seen it mid lane. And in this case, it's going to be support. But what makes Morgana just such a strong pick?
Well, so 2 reasons I'd probably say for Morgana. One being the amount of CC she can bring. Now, her skill shots are a little bit easier to dodge just because they're so slow. But whenever you have a Renekton that can stun a target by just point click, or a Jarvan that can trap them in a circle, it allows the Morgana to have an easier time hitting these skill shots. And so if she can get them off, Tarleton can almost be perma-CC'd. However, thankfully, they have a big enough front line that whoever does get hit by it, they should be able to outlive and tank a lot of the damage. But it looks like so far, Sac State's main idea is get a Jarvan ult down and just throw a bunch of AoE spells like Ezreal Q's ults, Ziggs ult, and his Q's. And of course, Morgana just going in to help finish it off. But as long as Tarleton can deny that engage or just survive the initial burst, I feel like they're in a pretty favorable position.
Yeah, you can kind of see the game plan, the thought process behind both of these compositions. And I think it's going to make for a really interesting game. Without a doubt. And I was very happy with how the bot lane kind of functioned there. It definitely was an improvement from what I saw in activation, in my opinion. A lot less given over for
180
free.
there.
Like,
Yeah,
I thought
that's
Val
exactly
Grand played it great.
If you're playing these hyper carry bot lanes or scaling bot lanes, you do not want to lose anything early on. And like we saw last game, they were able to play it very well, especially into such a damaging lane. And going into this game too, Tarleton, they have a very similar team comp to what we've seen a lot of the time. While Sacramento's changing it up a lot already, having a lot more of a passive bot lane, in my opinion, compared to last game, just having to make some changes after losing.
But not too much longer now before we get into game, about 15 seconds. And we get to see what ends up going down here in game 2 as Tarleton look to close out the series, and Sacramento State trying to extend this to a game 3.
Excited. And we also get to see Gimmick's runes in his first item. We might see the Dorn's ring come out, have that early AP damage.
Yeah, we're gonna find out as we get a quick look here. Something I noticed about the League client too is it never lets me see the skins for too long. almost instantly loads us in the game as we get a quick look. As you can see, Arcane Comic for Gimmick.
Yeah, that's definitely a sign that he's going to be wanting to poke a lot. Get his Q's
There's
down
the
on
D-ring.
Ziggs. I'm very curious what the hybrid build is for Cho'Gath. Do you have any insight on that, or you're not too aware?
Oh,
either?
I'm not a Cho'Gath player. I have no idea. I just imagine that he'd build a little more hybrid simply because of the fact that they have so much frontline already.
Yeah, you're not wrong. Just also that Cho'Gath always going to be beefy with his ultimate, getting him, I think it's like 100 to 180 HP for every ultimate he gets. That just allows him to be tanky no matter what build he goes.
I think the item name is a Bloodletter or something. See, that's an AP
Oh,
item that I
yes.
see a lot of these like hybrid builds end up going. So maybe that one's a possibility. I don't know, Riftmaker, if that's good on Cho'Gath. I have no idea. I'm just completely throwing things in the air.
Yeah, there's definitely a lot of AP items that also provide a decent amount of HP. So we'll probably be seeing those. So like you're saying, Bloodletters is a very popular among these people that like to do hybrid builds. You'll even see it like on Aurora tops and whatnot, just because it does give them a little bit more tankiness.
Yeah, for sure. We're actually going to get... I said invade, but really it's just kind of for vision here onto the Raptors. It's pretty common ward placement.
Gimmick taking a little of his HP down, but shouldn't be too bad, especially because he's able to gain some HP and mana back from killing minions.
Oh, unfortunately, Valdegrand gets connected by the root there. He's going to take a bit of his HP. Doesn't quite get to land the cheese this time.
He's still going to kill the ward, though, for a nice 25 gold.
Sure.
I was not taking any of it, just instantly throwing back poke. Ooh, dodges that Morgana Kia. Playing a lot more aggressive this lane, that's for sure. Another unique part about Renata is that her W, whenever she puts on an ally, if they hit critical HP where they die, they actually stay alive, and if they get a kill before, because they'll slowly lose their HP bar during this phase, but if they're able to get a kill during that time, they actually get revived. So it's a very annoying tool sometimes that you have to be aware of when you're on SAC state side.
Absolutely. Bit of trading there happening in mid lane between Gimmick and the Ziggs. Nothing too crazy. And as you can see, kind of, Malphite is one of those champions that does face mana issues early on. If you poke a Q enough, it does end up becoming a little bit of an issue for Malphite in this lane. So Mr. Gold just have to be aware of that a little bit.
We will see that Jarvan is pathing towards bot side, so he might try to look for an early gank, but it looks like Tarleton is aware of this and they're playing extra safe just to make sure nothing bad happens.
Yeah, both junglers kind of pathing in opposite directions at the moment.
Seen this position last week a lot of times whenever Big China is on this top side playing with Mr. Gold. They do like to try and burn some flashes or just look for some kills. Some casual trading going on. It looks like Mascara did opt to go with a Coal Start, which is a nice item that allows you to get a little bit of a gold advantage. Looks like the Jarvan gank's coming in.
Ooh, both exhausts being invested. But it looks like both players are going to get out with their lives. Fortunately, Tarleton almost losing all of their sums. But Jarvan also investing his own flash.
Thankfully, since they flashed early on, it allows them to keep most of their HP intact, so they're able to stay for these minions and just keep slowly farming. Mascara still holding onto his potion as well. I don't think he's too worried about his HP bar at the moment.
And you look at it, both Ezreal and Morgana have expended a lot of mana. So yeah, I don't think they're worried about having to stay whatsoever.
Ezreals do like to look for an early reset to get their tier of the goddess. Just helps build into their mana moon later on and start stacking it early. Looks like he may try to go do that right now. Oh, looks like Morgana is going for a Dark Seal. A really greedy option. As if she doesn't get any kills, it's just going to be almost a worthless item.
Yeah, that is really interesting.
Looks like their bot lane is going for a triple control wars as well. You definitely want that vision I think they want their Jarvan to almost just spam gank them, especially after Mascara and Val losing their flashes.
Nevertheless, a lot of these players are getting in their first base, and actually Renekton has opted to stay here against Mr. Gold. A little bit of a dangerous option, as Mr. Gold has gotten that chain vest completed now after TPing back to the lane.
We'll see on this next wave that's coming up at 5:30. It's when the solo laners get their ultimates. So Gimmick's going to start stacking, and Mr. Gold, if he's able to... It looks like the Renekton's going to get a base off. I was going to say, if he's able to stop him, he could look for a kill. But he's out of there.
And we never saw it on screen here, but at some point Gimmick was forced to invest his flash, maybe to survive a gank, or maybe not a gank, maybe just to survive getting solo killed. So we are without that tool, at the least.
Looks like both solo lanes are still able to keep a little bit of a CS advantage, even though it looked like Renekton was beating Mr. Gold early on, but he's able to just keep farming up and has a little bit of extra minions over him.
Root lands there on the Val the Grand, not going to take too much damage for it.
Looks like Jarvan is hovering bot side, waiting for a gank. I don't know if Tarleton knows he's here or not, as Val is going in.
Scary, going to try to
Val
find a
might
way
be
out
dead
of this
here.
one. Looks like Val the Grand might be the one to fall, or potentially both. There's the Ziggs ultimate as well on top of it. I don't think Val the Grand has any way out. He does not, hasn't fallen yet. There it is. It's going to be a double kill onto the support though. But with the purchase of that Dark Seal, maybe it's not the worst case scenario for Sacramento.
Yeah, you're right. I mean, now getting that value out of that Dark Seal, her W's that she's going to be throwing down are going to be hurting their bot lane a lot more. She's going to have a lot more damage. However, just at least the gold didn't get onto a carry though, so that is still...
Ooh. And Mr. Gold baiting the ultimate out of the Renekton. I think he was a little worried about getting all in.
Well, Tarleton's trying to come up to this objective.
Ooh.
Oh, barely missed the steal, but they are able to pick up a free kill.
And a nice
It's
shutdown
a
there onto
shutdown as well,
Mascara.
removing all the Dark Steel sacks.
Oh, and the stun connects
the
from Big
stun
China.
from Big
Perfect timing. Mascara is able to secure a second frag and a double kill. Huge value for Tarleton, and a nice play from Tarleton jungler, Big China.
They barely missed the dragon, but just getting those 2 kills on the Inara is definitely what Tarleton wants to do here, as he's just going to get closer to finishing his coal, getting his gold.
Yeah, and one of
Able
those
to get
being a
every
small
advantage
shutdown,
he
it's
can.
just perfect.
Yeah, and also just removing all those Dark Steel sacks that Morgana just got.
Renekton's
Again,
actually
making
going to
the
go for
item almost
the...
worthless.
He's going for the proxy. Gimmick having none of it. He's already made his way up into top lane. Might be looking to cancel the base. We'll see. In the meantime, Mascara's going to farm out this plate. Base does end up getting canceled. Gimmick's going to go on the chase. See what ends up happening.
Don't think he knows where the Renekton's at. Assumed he backed already.
That's pretty funny.
Looks like Gimmick's already gonna go for a Hextech Provolt maybe? Gives him a little dash just to get onto the enemy and allows him to get close up to get his abilities procced.
Kind of a similar start to last game besides the few kills that have happened here around the map. The Grubs and that first Drake have been secured by Sacramento.
I mean, Yunar is very similar to Zeri, where she's just another hyper carry, where if she can just get some items, as we saw what happened last game, it can just become too fatal, or if she just gets too much gold on her.
In the meantime,
Looks like they might try to look for a trade here.
yeah, bit of trading happening here. Val the Grand gonna get punished for a lot of his HP. Mascara's going to invest the ultimate. See how much damage he's able to get off. Trying to punish Juggernaut, and he will. And he lives on 1 HP. He's able to dodge the Ezreal ultimate. Huge play from Mascara
Very
and
well
Val the
played
Grand.
there. Yeah, it secures them a feat of warfare. Now it looks like the best bet for Tarleton is just trying to get first tower, which they were able to get last game. As long as they play for that, they'll be able to secure the feats of warfare.
I feel like we've gotten to the point in this top lane matchup where Mr. Gold's going to be a pretty tough target to take down. He has finished steel caps and the chain vest. A lot of Renekton's combos really aren't going to be as punishing, especially not with that passive shield that Malphite does have.
Renekton gets every ability off, but still loses the trade. Malphite
See what
is
I'm
just
saying?
rock
Like,
solid.
this is why this champion is my perma ban when I play ranked games. There is a reason for that. This Malphite champion is absolutely insane. So why not lock it in if you're in Mr. Gold's position?
Yeah, we saw it last week. He's very comfortable on this champion. He's really good at landing these ultimates that can just completely turn around team fights. So already just being in an unkillable position. So exactly what he wants.
Oh, and he's in a little bit of danger. Forced to invest the ult once again. Mr. Gold is going to hold on to his. Going to be patient with it. And then, I say that, but Mr. Gold, he's pressing the advantage now, forcing the flash out of Flame Feet.
You might be able to dive him here whenever he gets his abilities back up. Renekton definitely has to be careful and look to base.
I believe that is what he's going to end up doing. Maybe not. Have the TP available. Valdegrand going to invest the ultimate as he tries to keep himself alive, using the exhaust onto the Jarvan. Big China has arrived on the scene, but he might be the next target. He's forced to flash now. Mascara, he's going to continue to fight, continue to apply damage onto these players. We'll see what he's able to do. Big flash to dodge some of the Ezreal combos. Mascara, double kill. We'll see if he's able to win this 1 versus 1. Isn't quite able to do it, but that's 2 more kills onto the Yunara. Oh.
Yeah, Yunara is already able to get her first item. Big China is able to get his as well. Looks like this next dragon is definitely going to be a big fight, as Tarleton is already playing a lot more aggressive on bot side early on.
Very well done. And to rub it in, Mr. Gold has bought a Bramble Vest as well. Just stacking even more armor, like making it so playable for this Renekton. Like, we'll see what this trade ends up looking like here. Oh my gosh. Wasn't as crazy as I thought before.
Barely got through the armor shield right there. Very, that's a Malphite moment, isn't it?
But just give it about 5 seconds and there you go. Passive shield is back. Good luck, Renekton. Have fun.
Malphite building full tank, but doing more damage than the Renekton building full damage. Classic League of Legends. He does still have that flash advantage. They might try to look for a top lane play here, as the Malphite ult with the Sejuani. Ooh, looks like Gimmick's going in.
And Ziggs a little late, just able to TP back. Now he's going to work his way down the river. Big China also hovering around the area. We'll see if Tarleton look to contest his Drake or not. Doesn't really seem like it, as Big China's made his way back towards top side.
Oh, Renekton is forced to pop ultimate. It's like Val might be getting caught here in the Jarvan.
Yeah, Val the Grand Treble. He'll go down to the Jarvan ultimate from RC. But Mr. Gold will continue to fight this one out just a little bit. Actually taking a bit more damage now. Probably a little more than he hoped for.
We'll say, although Val did die, it denies the Jarvan ultimate, which should make it harder for them to do Dragon. It looks like Jarvan's actually starting it right now. Looks like Tarleton might just give it, or they might contest with Cho'Gath here.
Gotta be a little bit careful here. But he's just gonna opt to maybe base. Yeah, no steal attempt from Big China this go around. As him and Gimmick decide to concede. Second Drake does go to Sacramento.
You do have to be aware whenever you are Sacramento, Cho'Gath ultimate is almost like a smite in and of itself. So sometimes you can layer the smite and Cho'Gath ult to almost fully secure Dragon, even if it's at 2000 HP.
Oh yeah, true.
Looks like they're trying to make another play bot lane, although Mascara does have his ultimate now, so he could dash out of the Jarvan ult.
Ultimate is going to be invested from Mascara as he looks for the all-in. But maybe he got a little more than he bargained for. The kill does save his life, though, as Renata keeps him up. But with Jarvan down here, don't think he's going to be able to live through this one. He does not. But again, able to secure 1 kill despite the jungler being present.
Also getting the exhaust out of Morgana should allow them to be able to look for another play whenever they get right back up.
Yeah, as Val the Grand's exhaust has been recharged. I believe there's a Ziggs ultimate invested there as well.
Looks like already though Sacramento's ADC is having a lot more impact than last game. Just getting played a lot more around, and so it's just probably on a champion he's more comfortable with on the Ezreal. Oh, but Mascara does finish the second item already. Hurricane is one of the items on Yunara that's a big power spike because it just allows for her ultimate to just travel to almost anyone during a team fight, just spreading the damage.
Yeah, and although Gimmick hasn't gotten any kills yet, I don't know if you noticed, he's gotten a little bit bigger, and that's because he's definitely been consuming these minions. I don't know, maybe off of ult cooldown, basically. And we might get to see that Smite ult combo here if they decide to finish up the Herald. But it looks like they are going to be taking their time, not rushing any of these fights. But Jarvan is going to be the one to engage now. Gimmick going to be the target first. He will go down almost immediately. That's that burst we were talking about, as they're able to find that kill, and I believe that has to do with the support being present up there as well.
Jarvan uses flash, but it looks like nothing connects there for him.
Mr.
Yeah,
Gold
Gimmick
also
holds on to
forced a
his.
flash. Have to be a bit careful, but he has the TP, so it doesn't seem too concerning. In the meantime, red buff does get stolen.
Red buff, yeah. And I guess they got first tower as well, which here's them the feat of warfare. So although they're able to make a big topside play, again, just like last game, even when they sent Pantheon top for the Herald, Tarleton's bot lane is just able to capitalize on that and get first tower both games.
Yeah, and this Inara definitely with a slight advantage over the Ezreal, the current state of the game.
Looks like they're starting to lane swap as well. It's really interesting. Gimmick is just going for the 1v2. No fear at all. Causing Ezreal to eat away. I do like that Hex take Protobelt being able to get that little dash to dodge the Morgana Q.
Mr. Gold's getting stunned up, but with all this armor being stacked, how much can they really do? He is forced to invest the ultimate, but he's out of there. In the meantime, Mascara, I mean, just look at the damage from this Yunara already. Secures the solo kill onto Ziggs in the bot lane.
And that's what you want during lane swap. Gimmick is able to survive the 1v2. However, Ziggs just falls, giving another kill to Yunara, scaling her even further. Morgana forced to use the ultimate mid lane. Like Tarleton's just going to be able to have this overwhelming power.
Meantime, Mr. Gold is being pressured in top lane by that Herald. But he's going to stand his ground, and Mascara is going to come in on the rotate. So we're going to see if maybe to catch some of these overstaying players. Doesn't look like Sacramento are too interested. Nice reaction there from Gimmick to dodge the flash play out of Morgana. And Big China is going to chase. Ultimate doesn't quite connect. Does land the stun. But I think they're both going to fall for this one. Metu takes them both out. That's a double kill for the Sacramento ABC.
Able to get out the Ezreal, Morgana flash, and the Ziggs TP. However, that double kill, Sacramento definitely has to be happy about. Like on top lane, that was a double.
Mascara is going to chase RC. I mean, just look at this damage. Renekton's going to be forced to try and run for his life. He is out of there. But another kill. Mascara with 7 out of 8 frags here for Tarleton so far.
Yeah, just like last game, like when Tom Kench got put behind, Cho'Gath and Sejuani, even though they're behind right now, they're still champions that will always have value. Like we talked about the Cho'Gath ultimate, able to help secure objectives. Or Sejuani, she has so much CC in her kit. Oh, looks like Morgana just gets caught for free again.
Yeah, and he's getting pinched in there by Gimmick too, so really with nowhere to run. And now with all 5 players from Tarleton here, it's not even going to be a contest attempt from Sacramento. That's going to be Tarleton's first Drake. As it almost seems like this game is following a similar script so far.
Yeah, get a catch on the support and just allows them to get an objective. And Mascara is just building this demonic lead right now.
Oh.
And that with on Yunara, a champion right now who's very new and very recent, so a little busted, as most new champions are. But if she, as soon as she's about to get her Infinity Edge, she'll just be hitting rocks.
Oh yeah.
Like Zig doesn't know that Malphite's walking up. I don't think Mr. Gold knew either.
Oh, and there's the ultimate. I don't think Ziggs has any way out. Gimmick going to get the finish. That's his first kill of the game. And I cannot believe what I just saw.
And both of them a little surprised that someone was there. But a very good run by Mr. Gold, and he's going to be able to, I believe, TP top lane in time to pick up this wave. Oh, looks like Mascara's going to pick it up. Might be able to get a kill on Renekton here.
Yeah, Renekton does have flash
very
and ultimate, yes.
Oh, but Big China comes in just to help secure it.
Yeah, and this
They know
1 versus
Renekton
3,
can
I
only
feel
dash
should
in.
pretty much be no problem. Yeah, this Renekton's going to explode. Mascara with another kill. He's up to 9 now, and he's going to be closing in on that 3rd item here very soon.
It looks like Gimmick is going for very damage items here, because none of those really provide too much HP, and he's just further going into that.
Yeah, so he's
Let's see how
actually...
it plays out for him.
I predicted kind of some sort of a hybrid build. It is looking almost more like a full damage as he rushed Rocket Belt as a first item. It appears... I don't know what that second item is, since I'm not too much of an expert in Cho'Gath builds, but... Yeah, a lot more damage. A lot more AP.
Looks like a lot of the teams are now just kind of hovering around Otacon. We saw this happen a lot last game. Ziggs is trying to get some extra mid push. So Tarleton might have to respond to that, or they might just go to full send it on the Otacon.
Well, there's Ezult for some extra vision.
Yeah, using that early on, though, you won't be able to have it for a while, which is one of their big follow-ups to the Jarvan ult. They're already removing some of their damage before this big fight that's about to break out. Like a lot of Tarleton's trying to back here. I wonder if Mascara, and he does. He just got his Infinity Edge with 2 longswords. He's in a very big position right now. Has a lot of damage with his tier 3 boost as well.
Yeah, in the mid game at that, this Yunar is going to be hitting like a truck.
Yeah, 21 minutes in, already has an item and almost a half above Ezreal. Just having those tier 3 boosts to Ezreal's tier 1 and those extra longswords for damage. I think Tarleton's definitely going to want to look for Otacon here soon with all their ultimates up and their flashes as well.
Yeah, they are going to continue to hover around this bot side as Malphite continues to lane against the Renekton in top, pretty much on their lonesomes.
Not too much damage coming out of either side. Just kind of beating up on each other, and they're just still full HP.
Although Val the Grand might be in a bit of trouble here as the Morgana ultimate is invested as they look for the all-in. It will end up happening. He falls. Now, Otacon might be the goal here for Sacramento. They go ahead and start hitting it. But with these players from Tarleton hovering around, I don't think they're willing to give up this objective just yet. They have the Malphite teleport. Same with Renekton. Mascara gonna flash over the wall, catches Morgana by surprise, takes him out instantly. Jarvan ulting and then flashing out immediately. And unfortunately, Mascara will fall. Wow, that's actually...
able to get him off of it.
Yeah, it's a nice play from RC, and I believe I kind of missed it. Renekton at some point TP'd in. He's going to get the catch onto Gimmick. Metsu is dominating. Wow, so much happening in so little time.
It looks like they want to start it up again, but it's going to be very dangerous. As Otacon is one of the objectives that is, it does hit you back. Since they're all very low, looks like they're going to try to kite it. It looks like Tarleton might just give it up here.
And I really want to highlight the play made from RC there, as he ults onto Mascara and then immediately flashes away, knowing that the damage from Mascara is pretty high. It gives an opportunity for Ezreal to pretty much deal the finishing blow. And unfortunately, it seemed like Renekton kind of had the beat on the play. As he TP's down, Mr. Gold was kind of left stranded there in top lane.
Yeah, I believe they're trying to go for a similar play as last game where he's trying to, just like last game where he stopped the Galio from TPing. I think he was trying to do something similar, but it was just, Renekton was able to slip away just in time to get the TP through.
Yeah, so big one team fight there for Sacramento. The Otacon objective providing a lot of additional XP.
Ooh. It looks like both of the ADCs are the main focus point of this game. Ezreal 608, and of course Mascara on his Yunar going 10-4. Just both, those are the two major threats, so I think it's just going to be a who can kill the ADC first.
Yeah, we'll see if Tarleton's front line's able to defend Mascara as he looks to go in. A bit of poke damage being done in face of this Drake, but at the end of the day, a little bit too late from Tarleton as Sacramento are able to secure their third and put themselves in sole point.
Looks like we're just going to go back to farming, unless they might be doing something bot lane here. Trying to chase some kills after the objective. Let's see if they can recover anything.
Yeah, it doesn't seem like they were quite able to close the distance. All these players are going to be taking their bases.
We'll say Mascara is building a really decently sized CS lead. Up 54 gold. Or, sorry, 54 CS.
Yeah, even farming some of Big China's jungle camps.
Yeah.
Just to expand that lead even further.
Looks like they might be trying to look for a Baron play around here. All of Sacramento's side going towards top side, putting down some control wards.
Yeah, we'll see. Kind of that lone character on the other side of the map will be Ziggs. Has teleport available. But he's going to continue to push out this wave towards bot. Gimmick's going to make his way over there.
Yeah, I mean, at some point, if you could click on the Cho'Gath, I don't know if you're able to, we might be able to see his stats.
I wish I was more familiar with the
There we go. Oh, yeah, so he's at 5 stacks currently.
Oh, there
I believe those are all the ones he gets from his, just from eating minions.
Oh, yeah, I see it appears here. I was confused. Yeah, okay. Oh, Big China might be a little bit caught out. They do get off Baron. Malphite ultimate goes in. Follow up from the Renata. Mascara, he's going to be the one to have to do all this damage. He looks to carry this fight. Root does connect. Gimmick going to be the first one to take out the Renekton. And it looks like that play does end up succeeding. Good flash from Big China to keep himself alive and not get bursted too quickly. And the damage is more than enough from Mascara to eliminate that top lane threat.
Gotta highlight Val's ultimate there. Hits 3 of them. And since they're hitting each other, they just all get chunked down to half HP. And of course, like we saw, Mascara is just able to clean up a kill. And also forcing a flash out of Morgana. Which is could be pretty big in a fight, as a lot of the time Morganas want to flash onto the enemy ADC and ult them. However, now she won't have that option for the next 3 minutes.
Mascara's going to have both of his sums available soon to help himself get out of dodge and into these team fight scenarios. So yeah, definitely a good result here for Tarleton, as some of that vision does get cleared off of Baron.
Inara must be getting really close to level 16. That's a really big level up, as she's able to put her 3rd point into her ultimate. On a champion like Inara, that's exactly what she's looking for. So they might just try to scale up until she can get that before they try to do any more objectives.
And he's now finished that Lord Doms as well, so even more crit, more armor pen being added onto the Renata here. Or, sorry, not the Renata, the Inara.
Looks like everyone's still just kind of hovering around this Baron. Everyone's trying to be have the vision control there.
Yeah, and that
However,
control
SAC 70 is a lot of red wards for this. We'll say also at some point, Morgana had to use her her Zonias, or that component of it, and that can be really big for team fights. But now that she doesn't have that, it's definitely Tarleton's one less thing they have to worry about.
Yeah, we're getting towards the later stages of this game as we near the 30-minute mark. Each of these objectives and team fights become ever so more important, as all these tier 2s and a few tier 1s still remain standing. But they can fall in an instant now with the damage from all these players. Was interrupted a little bit by Gimmick doing a few trades onto the Renekton. Nothing major. Big China's going to kind of hover in this direction.
You're pretty accurate with Gimmick's build there, getting the Rift Maker and then going to the tank.
Yeah, I guess I
knew on the mark, yeah.
Guess I might have called that one.
It's like everyone's trying to go for Gimmick, thankfully on some wards so that he does see it coming. He's able to back out in time. However, they're all on the bot side of the map there. Tarleton might look to get some vision control on Baron now.
Yeah, you kind of see him leaning that direction. But I imagine that Sacramento are more than aware of this, but it looks like their focus is going to be more on Soul, and Tarleton are just now realizing it. This dragon is coming in, and it's going to be Soul Point for Sacramento. They're going to look to burst it. Tarleton, do you have an answer for this? They're going to try to move in this direction, but I don't know if they can get there in time. Big China is going to look to go in, doesn't quite get it. That is Soul secured as Sacramento now look to back. But Big China and Tarleton are still looking for a fight. That's the ultimate going to be connected. There's the engage. Renata ultimate does land. First falls is Morgana, traded out onto the other support. Big China will go down as well. It's 1 for 2 in favor of Sacramento. And a double kill for the Jarvan. And they're going to continue the chase. They're not slowing down. Mascara, he's going to be the next target. As Jarvan lands everything onto him. Mascara forced to flash away. Jarvan with the chase. Gets saved. Shut down for Mascara. More kills go in favor of Sacramento. As Metu gets that one onto Gimmick. Mr. Gold's going to try to run away, but he has no escape. This Ezreal's going to finish the job as he now sits at 8-0.
Tarleton just not prepared for that Dragon Soul. They must have just not seen it coming. Sacramento just able to take full advantage of that. That is Ocean Soul, which isn't the strongest soul in the game, but of course any Dragon Soul's better than not having one.
Yeah, and it almost seemed like it snuck
they
up
might try
on
to
them.
go
Like
for
you
a
saw
standard
Tarleton like pathing towards the bear and then realizing that it's Soul Point, immediately having to do a 180, but not able to get there in time. And then the chase ends up working out for Sacramento as they also get this bot tier 2. And now the gold lead, a little more in favor of them. But now, with the shield bow finished, Mascara has reached full build in this game.
This is the time where he wants to fight, get something done. It looks like the next team fight is almost going to decide who gets the Baron Nashor. So this is going to be a pretty important one coming up.
Yeah, and we'll see what they're able to accomplish.
It looks like Sacramento is just building a lot of armor, just trying to stop any damage that Yanara can provide. Gimmick is just going to have to try his best to do as much AP damage as he can to these targets. They're all just trying to clear some vision right now. They might be able to see Jarvan here. Tarleton's just grouping up, giving up some minion waves, just trying to look for any pick they can right now. Sacramento's just trying to poke them away from the objective.
And yeah, and this Ezreal clearly having a lot of poke available to him, as he's also sitting on 4 items. But yeah, no direct engagement as of yet. Kind of just eating these Qs. And China looks to go in. Mascara with the ultimate, but it's not going to find anything, and Tarleton might be on the back foot now. There's the engage from Mr. Gold. We'll see if there's any sort of follow-up. Gimmick's going to look to try and go in, but he's taking a heavy hit. It'll be Val the Grand to fall first, and Tarleton, looks dangerous. They're all going to drop. Only 1 kill going, or actually that's 2 kills going back in their favor, as they were able to get Jarvan and Morgana. Ultimately, that trade does go in favor of Sacramento State, and it's just Mascara left standing.
Yeah, they're going to try to look for as many towers as they can get. I think they might try to look to even end here, as there is still another 20 seconds to Val's up and 30 seconds for everyone else on the team. It's going to be up to Mascara alone to be able to hold off this base.
And he no longer has that shield bow available to him as well. And with this Ezreal damage and Renekton able to tank for him, I don't see any way Mascara can do anything about this. If they have the minion waves, they should have no trouble ending this game. Val the Grand has just come back up, but now with that Nexus, yeah, he explodes. Metu is legendary, having a complete turnaround of a game, and this one is finished up. We are all evened up at 1-1.
It's going to make it a very interesting game 3, as this is Fearless. You're going to see a lot of champions are just going to be out right away. So you're going to see both sides just going to have to dig deep in their champion pools, and especially Gimmick if he's going to keep getting banned out like this, seeing what he comes up next to have an answer.
Yeah, unfortunately, the pretty much wall of tanks Tarleton has gone for here didn't end up working out. Mascara with a pretty nice game. You see, ended that game with around 18k gold, 38k damage. Wasn't quite able to get the job done here, though, as we head into a pretty intense game 3. We'll be right back, cut it to a short break, and we'll get back in once the draft begins. Well, guys, we're going to get to experience the full effect of a fearless draft here in our first series as we are going to game 3. We're all tied up 1-1 as we head into the draft for game number 3, and we take a look at some of these fearless bans here from game 1 and game number 2.
A lot of champions out. Looks like Sac State instantly going to go ahead and ban Gimmicks and Nasus again. And Tarleton is opting to take blue side this game. So it looks like they might have a first pick up their sleeve that they want to prio.
We're finally getting
Ash ban as well.
Yeah, an adaptation here. So you get a look at the Ash ban.
A very strong ADC at the moment, especially with so many ADCs out of the game already. Just increases her value even more. So definitely good just to get it out of the way.
Sac State not going to beat around the bush. They will eliminate Nasus and Swain from the pool, unsurprisingly.
I wonder if we'll see a third gimmick ban here. That'll be quite interesting.
I mean, it's tough, man. These fearless drafts are brutal. As so many of these champions are taken out of your pool, what do you have left in the tank? We're going to find out this game. The Cho'Gath was an interesting one. Unfortunately, didn't really work out to the effect that he probably wanted it to. Final ban for Sac State's going to be the Jax. It's an interesting one. I don't know if we have very many. Maybe Mr. Gold's a Jax player. I'm not entirely sure if he has that one up his sleeve. Oh, and
Oh, the big China Mundo.
I believe Mr. Gold can play it as well, but I'd say that is likely a jungle pick, if I'm not mistaken. We're going to get a big China Dr. Mundo. He's been hyping up this pick to me all week, and I'm hoping to see it deliver here for Tarleton. And I like first picking it in this situation as well, just because they used that 4th and 5th ban on it in the previous 2 drafts. So definitely securing that one, not a bad idea whatsoever. And it's
like
going to be
gonna come through.
Yeah, immediately countered with the Warwick.
I have to imagine the Mundo passive denying that CC must be good into the Warwick. He might be able to step in front of his ADC or someone else to be able to block the Warwick ult and just have it almost negate it all. We're waiting to see the last pick. Oh, a Vayne comes through. I wonder if they meant to pick that or not. I guess they're not typing in chat, so it must be the pick they wanted. You don't see Vaynes off very often anymore, but it must just be a response to the Dr. Mundo. They might think it's a Mundo top lane, so maybe trying to counteract with a Vayne top.
Really interesting. Yeah. Actually, I have no idea. You were saying that it's not really something you see on the ADC role too often, at least not in these these games, these matches. Or
it hasn't been very meta recently at all. I mean, you do see it picked into tank top lane sometimes, so they might think it's a Mundo top and are picking a Vayne top into it. However, if that is the case, Tarleton might be able to counteract as Vayne. If she does get put behind, she becomes pretty useless. Well, a very damage dealing bot lane here, switching up from the hyper carries, going to a straight kill lane. Oh, the Orianna for Gimmick.
Yeah, it gets swapped at the last second. We are going to get to see a vintage pick out of Gimmick that we haven't gotten to see in a while. It's going to be the Orianna. I'm hoping for some good things here.
Yeah, Orianna and Misfortune have a really good combo ultimate, both having these big AoE ults, especially so far with Sac State having a pretty squishy comp. This combination of ults can just one-shot them.
I like what I'm seeing from the Tarleton side so far. Let's see what Sac State elects to go with here. We don't have a pick yet. It's sitting at 0 seconds. See if we get anything in the chat. Lux. Okay.
Yeah, sometimes in these best of threes, it can be really stressful trying to figure out what champions you can even pick. Looks like Draftflow might just be lagging out a bit as it's still just stuck on this last bit.
Yeah, I'd say that's likely. The website might be having an issue here. Haven't gotten a response yet from Tarleton. These situations, sometimes it ends up getting remade, I think. Reset, yeah, frozen. See what the solution ends up being. So far, very interesting look here in this draft. I'm curious to see if that ends up being a Vayne top lane. We did get a range top in game number 1. Oh, we might be back. The website might have just...
No, it looks like it fully went through, yeah.
Yeah, looks good. So we now get to see the bans for Sac State.
Definitely want to think this is more of a Vayne top lane, just because Lux Vayne would be an extremely uncommon pair. You don't really ever see that duo bot lane.
Could this potentially be a Lux in mid lane?
Oh, that's fair. Yeah, it could be a Lux mid. She just hasn't been too popular there, but I guess it could go. It probably could farm well into Orianna, just be able to help one-shot waves.
I mean, look at this. Tarleton are pretty convinced this is a Vayne top. They're gonna ban Jhin. So it must have the same idea as you in this scenario.
Yeah, I mean, either Sac State will show their ADC on 4th pick here, or they might even try to save it for 5th pick, just try and scare Tarleton. But they might just end up keeping it. We'll just have to see. Oh, Volibear ban. That champion I've been seeing in my ranked games so much recently, I gotta say, I hate the bear.
It's so broken. So much healing. Got everything available in the kit. Engage. Engage Q, engage ultimate. Healing E, healing W.
See that Katarina band come out once again on Tarleton's side, just not wanting to play against it. I think they might be considering Lux to be a support as well. RV, like you talked about, I mean, it looks like they have a lot of good flex picks on Sac State side. Could send Vayne top or ADC. Could send Lux support or mid. Just giving them a lot of options to keep it open.
Yeah. Definitely nothing locked in for certain. And with Mbessa being picked here, that pretty much secures Vayne as being the ADC in this game. We'll see what
Funnily enough, Mbessa could go mid as well.
Oh.
So they could
Yeah.
be doing a triple flex. They
Man.
could be cooking a little too hard. But we'll just have to see Tarleton, what they think they're going to do here and how they want to go about it.
This is just making my brain hurt. But
Yeah,
did you expect anything less from a game 3? Wow, we're getting a Shin from Tarleton. Likely from Mr. Gold. I'm a fan of that pick for sure.
Oh yeah, so far it seems like they're just gonna have this Mundo walk into them, go where he pleases, have an Orianna ult come out, or even a Shen ult just to keep him up alive, and then just have the Misfortune ult from the back line, sending it through. Ooh, a Rakan as well. This is another signature pick on Tarleton's end. Val, he loved this a lot about 2 semesters ago, and so he's pretty comfortable on this champion. So to see how he does after picking up after so long.
Final pick from Sac State's gonna answer a lot of questions.
Yeah, that's right. Finally figure out who's going where and what they're doing here.
But Tarleton having a pretty nice rounded out composition. We're going to get the Braum, so it is going to be a Lux mid lane. We get Vayne, Braum, and bot. Warwick jungle and Mbessa top lane. Probably the most likely scenario. And that will conclude our draft for our game 3. This is going to be a good one. Our first look at a fully developed Fearless draft for NECC. Tarleton program history. Can't wait to see this one. As we exit out here and swap screens to the game, as we should be getting into game any moment now. But I'm ready for it. We wanted a series, we're getting a series.
I gotta say, Fearless draft just makes it so much more exciting, especially into these game 3s, as we saw it in that draft right there. Just forcing a lot of unique champions to come out. I don't think I'd ever see a Vayne come out at all in a normal game. But Fearless, it just allows it to be an option. A very, very fun draft.
We'll see if our Texans have anything left in the tank for what's been a later series than normal. I believe we started at 9 p.m. Definitely not the norm. But going into the
Definitely
game
gotta be
3,
feeling a little
how-
sleep deprived now.
how's your stamina looking? We're going to find out in this game. As yeah, the rolls are pretty much as predicted from the result of the draft.
I will say the Shen pick is going to have a lot of value this game, as his W just allows to block auto attacks. And you'll see on Sac State's side, you have Vayne, Warwick, and Bessa, even Braum. All these champions really want to auto attack to do what they want to get done. So Shen is just going to be able to deny a lot of that, as well as ulting on whatever target gets hit by this Warwick. And again, on Tarleton's side, having this Rakan, he has so many CC options that while Sac State tries to jump in and target Tarleton, Rakan can just easily peel them off. So we're just going to have to see how it plays out. He's also a really good target for Orianna to ult as well, just like the Mundo is.
Oh yeah, I'm ready for it. This is going to be a great game as the runes and sums get locked in for the final time here tonight. I'm going to restate what I said before. Big China hyping up his Mundo to me before the start of the series, and we're going to get to see it in game 3. Do not disappoint me, Mr. Honley. As we get set to go here. Or I say set to go, really, for spectator delay, but...
I will go ahead and highlight one unique interaction in this game that we'll probably see happen a few times, is Braum has the shield, and it can actually block most of the Misfortune ultimate as long as he's standing in front of everyone. So you're going to be seeing this Braum play a lot more in the front. However, these past 2 games, we have seen the support get caught out many times as well. So he's going to have to try and be in the front, but also not to get too far away from his team and get caught.
Absolutely. And I want you to highlight some of the things you know about this Vayne pick because, yeah, another one that just kind of just appeared out of nowhere. Doesn't get picked a lot, kind of fall out of meta. But what makes it good? Why do you think Sacramento State decided to go with it here?
Yeah, so already seen that Mundo right away. Like I was kind of talking about, you pick Vayne into a lot of, especially in top lane, into a lot of tanks. But you can play her as ADC as well. But the whole reason why, what her champion tries to accomplish is that every 3 auto attacks, she applies this 3-hit passive. And whenever it procs, it does massive true damage. And I believe it also scales on how much HP the enemy has. And so it's just one of the best tank demolishing champions. And so that could be a little scary. However, Shen, even though he is a tank, he is a counter just because, like I was talking about, that W, just able to soak up all the damage. And that's what Vayne really wants to do here. But she is also very cool. She can, whenever she ults and she dashes, she goes invisible. So sometimes she's hard to lock down. However, if she's also very squishy though, so if you are able to get a Rakan ultimate into an Orianna ult, into a Misfortune ult, the Vayne isn't going to have much counterplay to that and will get instantly one shot.
And now at your discretion, I wanted to ask about the gimmick Orianna incident that perhaps maybe got him banned off the champion in the first place. He is pulling it back out here, and I'm excited to see what he can do, but if you don't mind sharing that story for us, that would be nice.
Oh yeah, Orianna for the longest time. I mean, she, as the champion herself, she's always a stable champion in 5v5s or comp, just because her ultimate is really good, especially when you have communication. But back in the day, this is like almost a year ago, Gimmick would just spam this champion on repeat, and we do it with many champions like Rakan that Val would play back in the day as well. And just that pairing is very strong, as Rakan can just dash in wherever he wants with his movement speed and knockups, as well as his charm, which just secures the Orianna ultimate. And like I said, we played it almost every game up until the point where the enemy just started to permabanning it, just like my Jinx. So it is one of those high champions that Gimmick does have in his roster. But at the same time, he might be a little rusty though, because he hasn't picked it in a while. But we're just going to have to see that here in this game 3.
I'm very happy to see him back on the champion. Just something that I guess a little bit of nostalgia pick, but at the same time, can he still do it? We're going to find out here as we hop in the game here in the next 10 seconds. Super exciting stuff. Looking forward to it. Game number 3. Could not ask for anything better in our first series of NECC play.
That's right. Now we're going to go see our 3 seconds of skins. Quickly. Yeah. See if we can point out any interesting ones.
Game never wants to give us too long of a time to look at any of these cosmetics or runes or anything. Straight into the action.
On SAC State side, they do have the $25 luck skin. They might just get extra luck from that. Wonder if we will see any invades this series. So far, nothing too crazy. However, with Braum, you can get a little creative and go in, since his passive just allows to apply almost a CC proc to anyone he hits. Looks like everyone's just gonna stand at their normal positions. Braum might try to go for an early ward. But Vayne, she's kind of similar to the Zeri and Yunara, where she's also a hyper carry, where she wants to scale, she wants to get items. Unlike Mascara, who's now playing Misfortune, who is the exact opposite, where she's almost like Draven, where she has this early damage that she wants to accomplish while building these really heavy 80 items and just using them for her ultimate to try and burst down any target that she can early on. So it's just kind of interesting to see the script getting flipped here in bot lane for this game 3.
Here he goes. The laning phase begins. Big China going to start top side as well as Warwick, it appears. Warwick and Big China both opting for the Ghost as well. Something to keep note of.
I haven't seen that too often. Normally you want your flash on Warwick so you can try and flash fear the enemy team, but we'll just have to see what he does with this Ghost.
Yeah, maybe I could see it being useful if you have some of these low HP targets, because Warwick has already gains movement speed on the engage in those situations. So I guess additional movement speed wouldn't hurt, able to close the distance like instantly.
Yeah, let him go Mach 10 and just ult away from half the map.
Maybe that's the goal. This gimmick does gain priority here in mid lane. Early trading.
That's why Orianna could be one of those really annoying champions to go against. She's very well known for her early lane poke. She can just almost force out a lot of different mid laners and just spam her abilities on them without having to use too much mana.
I don't know the matchup fully well. Haven't really talked about the Mbessa too much even during draft whatnot, but I feel like Shen's a pretty decent pick into it because you have the ability, as you can see there, you get the taunt and block some of those auto attacks with the, I don't know if it's Shen Q or W that does that, but no, you have a way of blocking auto attacks on Shen.
Yeah, Shen W is the one that gives him the auto attack block, and whenever he does get level 3, he should be able to start winning those trades harder, because even there, he went even in the trade, but now that he will have level 3, he'll have that auto attack block, and that'll just make it so Mbessa can't do most of the damage that she wants to do.
Right.
I will say also a unique thing about this game, Big China is actually pathing down towards bot lane. We normally saw him pathing up in the previous 2 games, so he's also switching up here in the jungle. Maybe just trying to
here we go.
Ooh,
Mr. Gold looking for a potential all-in onto Mbessa. A really nice trade. Mbessa's going to have no choice but to base, I feel like. She sticks around in danger, getting flash taunted and taken out. We're going to see what ends up being the option here. Mbessa is going to stick around, so playing a little bit of a dangerous game with Mr. Gold. There's the flash from Braum. Very aggressive. Val the Grand. Got to do some dodging. Looks like burnt that flash off or not.
Typically, you sometimes see the Rakan just do his knock up away, just trying to use it as a dash to escape. But instead, he uses it to go on the aggressive, forcing the Vayne to back out, and then just dashing back to his ADC to where he's safe. Very well played by him there. Shen's just stacking up these waves, not letting Mbessa get any minions.
Yeah, that's perfect. In the meantime, Warwick's going to be first onto that crab, but Big China was also able to get into his base and get that first giant belt. So has that slight tempo advantage. Mr. Gold is in danger of getting ganked here. Warwick is going to make his way up. See if Mr. Gold's able to stay out of dodge. He is going to notice
He does
now.
have a very big minion wave.
But he has to remember, Mbessa's pretty low, and that taunt is able to just help him get out of there. So well done there from Mr. Gold. His work is a little behind the tempo, like I mentioned before. Big China was able to get in his first base and start his bot camps. Or his top camps, excuse me. So that's definitely worth noting. And that gank also delays some of that time as well. Oh, and Mr. Gold.
Forcing the flash.
I don't know if he had kill pressure there, but Mbessa not taking any chances, going the flash away, and probably TP back.
I'm still choosing to stay.
Wow. Crazy
I will
stuff
say, kind
going
of keep
on.
talking about that tempo advantage. Mundo is just one of those junglers where he just wants to farm, and if he can do that, which he's already building a slight lead against.
Do my
Warwick.
eyes deceive me? Is that a dark seal on Warwick?
Oh, and on the Lux as well. Looks like they might be trying to do some sneaky strategy here. I haven't seen that before, but I do know Warwick's healing, I believe, has the AP ratio to it.
Oh,
I think he might
see,
just
that was
try
going to be
look
my next
to-
question. I was wondering what
Yeah.
abilities have AP scaling on Warwick.
As long as they can just deny him from getting any kills, it'll just make the, like we talked about last game, Dark Steel just have way less value. But of course, them having on their mid laner and jungler, looks like Sacramento must be having something up their sleeve.
Alright, and so this first Drake has spawned in now. Tarleton seems to be kind of having a little bit of priority here, especially with Gimmick pushing in this mid wave. And so I wonder if this will be the first time in the series that Tarleton does land this first neutral.
Shoving a big wave down bot lane. Like we were talking about earlier, just having this misfortune is a lot more damage early on. It looks like she did take a tower
Oh,
shot.
good
though.
W from Val the Grand. Keep Mascara out of dodge. There's the exhaust being utilized to prevent any sort of engage. Might get a fight happen here as Gimmick has made his way down ahead of the Lux, but looks like he will path his way back towards mid to catch this wave.
Say both junglers are just trying to get their level 6. Feels like whoever gets that first is definitely gonna want to try to start the dragon.
And speaking
Thankfully,
of level
thanks to
6, Shin has reached level 6 as well, so you gotta remember that global ultimate, almost like an extra teleport.
Very good for him to hold onto his TP as well, so he can use that after he ults down bot lane to be able to go back up and not miss too many minions. Looks like Mundo's gonna choose to just go and take a recall here. Isn't too bad, just with a further his tempo advantage. Like we're the same. Oh, the 2 giants build, almost full build.
Yeah. You expect to see triple Giants belt into Warmogs for Big China, or are we looking at a Heartsteel build? This looks like triple Giants belt into Warmogs.
Yeah, I'm not too familiar with the Mundo jungle builds.
I'm only
but I
familiar
do
with it
know it's
because I've
those
seen
2
all
items.
the posts from Alois, which is the Mundo player
Oh yes.
on YouTube. And that's the build that he goes for. To be able to push these towers. I'm not sure what the jungle one looks like, but I'm sure you could probably do it here too.
Mascara has so far been able to develop a really solid CS lead, while everyone else is going pretty even in their lanes. Just be able to have that early advantage, which
Cool.
might be able to allow them to get a first objective.
And there's the ghost from Warwick. He's going to look to chase down Gimmick. We'll see what Gimmick's able to do
Fuck the
here.
Ghost.
He has no flash available to him. Shen's going to look to try and save him. Here comes Mr. Gold. He's in. Val the Grand with the follow-up. Big W landed. Taunt connects. First blood from Mr. Gold. Getting the flash as well. And it's a double kill for Mr. Gold. Huge investment of this ultimate.
Gotta say, Gimmick's ult barely misses the Warwick ult. I like how he tried to buffer it and tried to time it. Because if he would have hit that, it would have stopped the Warwick ult instantly. But it doesn't matter because Mr. Ult comes in with the ult and gets the double taunt, and then Val shows up at perfect time to get the double knockup. Perma CC in SAC State and gives him that free double kill, also allowing for the first dragon. Looks like Mr. Gold doesn't even have to use his TP to get back up to top lane. He's just gonna chill mid lane.
Ooh, this is a little bit worrisome. He's getting all in here. Nice flash. Keep himself alive. Prevent Lux from earning that shutdown.
I was gonna cancel the back on Braum there. Braum is running out of mana as well. Val just got 6, looking to engage. Looks like they're just gonna retreat.
In the meantime, China's forced to use his ultimate. Facing the Mbessa.
So far, that early game kills right there, going heavy in Tarleton's favor. Like you said, this is the first dragon that we've seen Tarleton get.
Yeah, for once
However,
we're
it looks
getting a
like-
trade of objectives in the early game, which is nice. Those 3 gubs get finished off by SAC State.
Like Rakan's resetting early. Might try to look for a roam somewhere on the map. Maybe just forgot an item or two. Yeah, so far, Mascara is able to create a bigger CS lead here. Already has a BF sword and pickaxe. Has a lot of AD on him. He can get an ult down with Val or the Orianna ult. Definitely cause a lot of damage.
Also looks like Gimmick was able to earn some plating in mid, while Lux is kind of hovering that top side. It's pretty solid for him. Definitely a pretty good early game for our Texans. Mr. Golden and best to do a bit of trading.
I like how he's able to keep his TP up, so whenever his ult comes up, he can use it without worry. Get back to his lane whenever he wants. It's pretty even trading so far. It's like it does lose down a little. Now you do have to be careful going below your 50% HP in these lanes, as Warwick's passive activates and he's able to gain movement speed whenever he goes towards that lower HP target. But this can be really helpful sometimes because it can just help him clear his jungle faster.
There's the ultimate, and the all-in attempt is going to happen here onto Mascara. Warwick ult connects. Mascara is going to instantly try and bury, get himself out of this one, but the fear stops his ultimate. And Val the Grand just going to try to run for his life and live. In the meantime, there's going to be a trade attempt happening in the top lane. Ult connects on the Mr. Gold. We'll see if Big China is able to finish him off, but no, it's actually Mr. Gold who secures the third frag. So Tarleton does end up going 1-for-1 there. Not bad at all. Unfortunately, Gimmick is now going to be the next target as Warwick has made his way up. Nice ultimate there from Gimmick, though.
Lux has no mana to follow up with any more spells. It's a very good ult right there, just able to stop both of their tracks. And now Val almost saved Mascara there by getting his triple charm and even double knock up on the enemy bot lane. However, it's just not enough to get Mascara out. However, he does get a reset from it. Oh, Big China coming in mid lane. Just running down the Lux.
Oh, I believe he missed one part of his combo there, if I'm not mistaken. That first Q probably would have been enough to take him out, but fortunately, not quite getting the finish. Now Lux going to reset and look to TP back to lane. Big China's going to be without that ultimate for a little bit.
Looks like Tarleton is now around almost a 2k gold lead. I guess
yeah, you're looking at CS leads in pretty much every lane here, besides top. And I mean, you don't really care about CS lead in top when you have 3 kills. Making up for that.
And Shen is always going to have immense value just because he's a pure tank with heavy CC and that big shield from his ultimate.
And I like the AoE damage build here. Yeah, buying the Tiamat for Mr. Gold, yeah. I'm a big fan of that in this game.
Oh, catches the Embezzle. Last second, she was trying to get away.
Once again, Gimmick's going to be targeted in mid lane. He's going to get pretty much bursted down by the Warwick Lux ultimates. He is taken out for the first time in this game.
Yeah, very good combo right there. Warwick's just able to lock down whatever target he ults and allows the Lux to get a free knockup.
In the meantime, Mascara is going to be targeted. Braum ultimate is invested. There's the follow-up Misfortune ultimate, however. Val the Grand's going to be taking a lot of this burst. Lands another W. Instantly flashes away. Lots of heavy trades, but no kills. In the meantime, is Big China actually finish the heart steal? Oh, oh no. So he's going to invest that ghost. A follow-up ghost from Warwick. Big China's a little bit caught out, and he will fall. Being without that ultimate, still on cooldown.
It looks like it just came back up, too.
Yeah.
Just a few seconds away. Very unfortunate timing for Big China there.
Looks like he really just wanted to try and hunt down that Lux. In the meantime, Warwick is not stopping with the ganks. He has immediately worked his way up the top, but Mr. Gold seems aware of it. Will back up under his turret. I mean, I can't lie, Mascara, he's just kind of hitting this turret. He's been doing that for a little bit now.
Yeah, just having that early Bloodthirster, even if they take a little worse trades that we've seen, he's just able to heal up to full HP from having all this lifesteal. Let him keep fighting. Looks like Mr. Gold is forced away from his tower. Is going to have to recall him, possibly even TP. However, it looks like bot lane is going to try to look for the first tower of the game here.
There you go. Yeah, they've kind of just been hitting this tower with Vayne being there the entire time. With no issues, really. So you like to see that, getting some extra gold on your ADC once again.
And compared to last week, where Tarleton's bot lane was probably their weakest point in the early game, now getting 3 first blood towers 3 games in a row. Definitely a good change of pace.
Yeah, couldn't agree more.
And listen, I believe that also secured them their feats of warfare, as they did get the first 3 kills of the game. So overall, already going to get them their tier 3 boots whenever they have the gold to buy those.
Second Drake's going to be converged on here by SAC State. So they will go ahead and finish that one up. No contest really from Tarleton.
Probably just waiting for Orianna to finish her stacking item right there, her Archangels. So whenever it's finished, she gets a really big shield if she ever gets too low, which can be very good into this Warwick and Lux combo, just almost surviving that burst. Looks like they're going to try the combo here. You see the Rakan ult into the Orianna ults, the Scorchin ults.
I think Found the Grand still having W available. We'll see if he is able to land the knockup. He might just be going for the solo kill, yeah. Go and take out Lux. Not bad there at
Lux
all.
flash, but still kills her without having to use any of their summoners, just their ultimates. Definitely a kill you want to get. Allows some pressure mid lane, which does force Sacramento to send their bot lane mid now as well.
And also, it's going to be this
Like
Herald
Herald,
secured.
yeah. This can be very good for cracking open mid, or sometimes you'll save the Herald for whatever dragon spawns, so then you can put that down so they're forced to either do dragon or answer the Herald call. So it's definitely just a nice way to give yourself more options on how to play these objectives.
And I gotta admit, a lot more neutrals this game in possession of Tarleton in comparison to the first 2 games. Maybe that has to do with the Mundo, maybe it doesn't. I don't know. I gotta give Big China some credit in that regard. In the meantime, he's gone for this invade here onto the Warwick. Gonna pop the ultimate early. Mascara has made his way in this direction as well. Warwick doing some healing, but it ain't gonna be enough against 3 players. And that invade ends up working out. Mascara gets the kill. Huge play from Tarleton.
Yeah, catching Warwick in his own jungle. Not only does it give Big China some more Heartsteel stacks that he just wants to keep increasing, but like you said, getting Mascara that kill. And we see what happens whenever Mascara can get a big lead. Crazy how much Shen is just able to wave clear with just his Titanic Hydra alone. Just auto attacks the wave once and nearly demolishes all of it. As that looks like Tarleton's just reverting back to CSing while no objectives are spawned. Mascara does finish the second item. I believe that puts him a whole item ahead of Metsu. Like the game state's just pretty even right now. Everyone's just farming and chilling. It looks like Tarleton is going in. Val's ulting in, flashing in, followed up with Misfortune ult, causing Meadow to flash and barrier. They're turning around. Mascara dodges all the abilities, gets through, Braum flashes.
Warwick has arrived on the scene, man. And that fear is going to be massive. Mascara is going to be forced to flash out of there. Shutdown goes to Warwick off of Val the Grand. Big ultimate from Gimmick. And now Big China's arrived here. Mascara putting in work, takes out RC. Let's see if Tarleton elect to go for any more. This Braum might be the next target. Q connects for Big China. And Gimmick's able to get the finish, and Big China's not stopping. He goes under the turret, but eventually decides to back out, deciding it's not worth the risk. Huge play from Tarleton, though. Gimmick with a massive ultimate to slow down the escape plan from the SAC State players.
Yeah, looking really good for Tarleton, but then looking really bad, and then looking really good again. Just a constant back and forth. Those are the type of battles you want to see in a game 3. They really keep you on your toes.
And it looks like Mascara dodged so many abilities, just buying time for the rotations to come through. But yeah, like you said, completely back and forth.
He's playing this Rakan very well, using his jump in whenever he needs to, but also uses it to escape whenever he deems it too spooky. And then Gimmick, so far, having, I think, 3 for 3 really good Orianna ultimates. Just completely changing around these team fights.
Yeah, good stuff here from Tarleton. They sit about a 3K gold lead. Now Mr. Gold's gonna look to go and lands the taunt there onto Mbessa. Let's see if that's enough with Big China hot on the heels. Gonna smite and good. Forces the flash. Nice job there out of Big China.
I'll say this Mundo is getting pretty tanky at this point. However, since they did see Mundo top, looks like they're gonna start Otacon. We've seen this in both games that this objective alone can just change the outcome. So we'll just have to see how this game reacts. Now they do have Shen ultimate, but Mbessa doesn't have TP. Tarleton technically does have the number advantage as long as they pressure it.
And looks like SAC State are aware of Mundo moving down here, so they're gonna go ahead and stop the Otacon while they can. Doesn't look like Tarleton are gonna look to flip, but they do have priority on this dragon now. Gonna remove some of the vision. It might just start, knowing that Mr. Gold has that ultimate available to him.
That's just the value Shen brings to a team. Although, like, as soon as Mbessa doesn't have TP, Shen has two ways. Not only does he have his TP, but he has his ultimate as well, securing the Ocean Drake for Tarleton for their second dragon. It's like everyone does have their ultimates up as well. So just kind of playing around in the jungle, seeing if they can get anything. Mascara is just developing even further CS lead now, almost up 50 CS.
In the meantime, Mr. Gold's able to take that turret. I believe Mbessa recalled to maybe try and work her way towards that objective, not having the TP. And as a result, Mr. Gold was able to finish off that turret in top lane and get in a reset of his own.
I like how passive Tarleton is playing this. They know they're in the lead right now. They know they have that gold advantage, so they don't want to force Otacon and accidentally flip it, kind of like game 2. So they're just playing a lot slower, a lot more careful, just developing these leads until it gets to the point where they can fight on their own terms.
Yeah, that's well said. And I'm pretty sure they are aware of the fact that they have a lead currently. Don't want to do anything to possibly give that away, force it like you said.
One big thing to notice around the map, as you look, both tier 1s on mid and bot side have fallen. This should allow Tarleton to get a lot more deeper vision and just be able to know where the enemy team is, unlike SAC State where they just can't get as deep wards because they still have these towers up. It's like a little fight's going to break out mid lane. Not sure if too much will happen.
Yeah, no direct
I'll
engagement.
This Warwick is always there.
Warwick just permanently hovering around his bot lane, ensuring their protection. And it's interesting, Warwick actually opted to build Bork as a first item. Definitely pretty strong. I see that a lot more often in top lane, at least for the Warwick.
Looks like Tarleton's going to start the Otacon here, now feeling confident that they can take it. So far, pushing SAC State out. It's like, I was just playing Dangerous and Fire
Mbessa
here,
still not having the TP up yet. But it looks like Tarleton are going to try to finish this one. Steal comes through, though, from Warwick. That's a massive steal. Here comes the fight. Big China's going to pop the ultimate and chase. Exhaust applied onto Braum. Let's see if he's able to get out. Man, the targets just seem to keep on changing for Tarleton, but they are going to get first blood. That is Mr. Gold on a rampage. Takes out Warwick. Flamefeet's going to be the next target. He's in between all 5 Tarleton players. Mascara's on a killing spree. Tarleton lose the Otacon, but they go 2 for 0 in terms of kills.
That fight looked like it could have gone a lot worse for SAC State, but both the Vayne and Braum able to escape with super low HP. But Tarleton looks like they might just be able to try to get a little bit more after those 2 kills and look for a tier 2 mid lane.
Yeah, I would say thankfully Tarleton pretty much salvaged the Otacon play as Lux tries to move that wave, but it's all for naught as that tier 2 is secured. Unfortunate the Otacon does get stolen by Warwick there, but a really nice job of salvaging it as Tarleton come away with the kills, come away with this tier 2 and steal the red buff. So you're getting a lot back for this. And that is what you like to see.
Their gold lead is going up to 6,000 now, just further extending that. And we saw that combo once again at the Otacon fight where the Orianna ults into the Misfortune and Rakan ult. Just this big layer CC that they've consistently pulled off this game. And so hopefully they'll be able to keep that combo up and be able to try to get more of these dragons.
No Darksteel stacks currently on the Warwick or Lux as of yet. But they are staying with those items. I just still think the Warwick Dark Seal is so funny.
Yeah.
His AP
I wonder
scaling
if
on
it
healing.
cooks sometimes, yeah. Looks like Mr. Gold now just got his heart seal, so both of the things on Tarleton's side are just going to be able to slowly stack and get stronger, which is not too bad, especially when you already got 2 dragons.
Wow, that looks
Especially with the
ultimate
Ocean Drake.
completely tickled Mr. Gold.
Yeah. He doesn't even have a single MR item. Oh, never mind. He does have a mantle. My bad, my bad. Looks like Gimmick already got his tier 3 boots for that extra magic.
Ooh, and Braum might just have the drop here on Mascara. Does have flash available to him though, so he's able to get out of dodge. Big China is gonna be in the area to try and solve this problem. Big charm from Val the Grand. Ultimate connects for Mascara. Braum's been taken really weak. He's not gonna be able to escape the unstoppable hands of Mr. Gold. And once again, Tarleton go 1 for 0 on kills. And they're gonna look to continue to chase. Q does connect for Big China, forces the flash. Tarleton are still chasing. That is an aggressive ultimate. Mr. Gold's having none of it. He's dominating. 6 kills for the Shin.
I gotta love it there. Mascara's flash is just able to keep him alive long enough for his team to follow up. And once they do, Mundo just runs them down. And since Mundo's so far ahead, Rakan just has an easy target to jump to. And does his combo, which allows Mascara just to rejoin the fight with his ultimate. I so far like the team comp they got going on here on Tarleton's end. Very, very nice.
Yeah, it's working out really well. And that's another Drake secured. All these players, except for the Rakan, having shutdowns now. It is a massive lead for Tarleton. They just got to look to not throw it away. Big China's going for the steal on this blue buff. He doesn't quite get it, but they are going to chase here and do some more fighting. Tarleton are willing to fight anywhere that they can. Unfortunately, Big China with no ultimate, he's going to go down first. And this might spell trouble for Tarleton. Mr. Gold, he's surrounded by 4 players. Wow, I don't know. He just had like 20 auto attacks blocked from his shield. Thank goodness he's playing Shen. So he's able to get out of there no problem.
Some of that Shen W value early on. It's like a fight's still kind of happening. But you look at the items here now. Mascara has a whole item up on the enemy ADC with his Infinity Edge. So these fights, now unfortunately they fought without him there. I think that's why they lost that fight pretty hard. But as long as they play around him and his items, should be able to win any fight they want to take.
Big China probably had the smallest shutdown out of all the players. Oh, Mascara's kind of getting dove here by the Mbessa, but it might have been a mistake because Mbessa in trouble. Going to go back in, but gets punished for it. Mascara's on a rampage now.
And a Bloodthirster is having so much value, able to keep him alive in the Mbessa combo, and Shen ulting just in case to make sure that they don't get the shutdown onto Mbessa, just keeping her out of the game. Mascara now with 264 CS at 28 minutes compared to the 190 on Bane.
I argue a lot of that has to do with some of these jungle camps I've seen him grab as well, in addition to just good CSing in general.
His build right now, he just has so much damage. Just clearing those camps is like nothing for him. Been able to keep up his tempo ever since the early game, constantly pushing and taking any wave he wants.
As we get into the later stages of this game, there's a rule of Mundo I'd like to point out. Once Mundo hits level 16 and he has ult available, good luck taking him down.
You see, so far they only have 2 Bramble Vest on SAC's side, so if Mundo just doesn't hit those targets, he won't have that anti-heal proc onto him, and so he'll just be able to heal like crazy, especially because he mainly just wants to focus the squishies anyways.
China doing a little bit of investigating here, but backs out without an issue. Tarleton are mostly grouping around this Baron, kind of just playing for vision, it seems.
Looks like Warwick went ahead and built Profane Hydra. I guess that maybe it procs off his ultimate. That's the only reason I could see him going it, but it is also another just different item you don't normally see on that champion.
Yeah, really interesting. Bork Profane Hydra.
With Bramble Vest. It's kind of just going like a little bit of this, a
little bit of that.
It looks like Mundo is now also going to probably look for his Titanic Hydra, just copying after Mr. Gold's footsteps here.
And Mr. Gold is going to be the target here. Metsu going to engage him. Mr. Gold trying to use E to get out of there. Flashes as well, but he's going to get chased down by the Vayne. Vayne's having none of it. I don't know if Mr. Gold's going to make it out of here. And that is a tough blow for Tarleton. The 1K shutdown goes to the Vayne, but it does get traded out. Warwick will drop. Big China with his first kill of the game. Gimmick gonna get found as well, though. So that's 2 shutdowns. Luckily for Tarleton, this Mbessa is gonna get chased down. We'll see if they're able to take him out. It's gonna be a kill onto the Rakan. Val the Grand able to secure that one. But a couple of nice shutdowns going over the way of SAC State.
Yeah, those 2 for 2. Definitely, Sac State did get the more gold out of it. However, since the jungler is down, they're able to start a Baron play here, as they do have Big China with his smite still.
Big China still having his ultimate, too. Not going to be easy to take down. There's the Braum ulti. Mascara is doing what he can to try and dodge these combos. Big China is going to go in with the ultimate. There's the follow-up from Mascara. Doesn't quite connect. Big China, oh, he's just taken down immediately. Oh, this Vayne's a problem. Val the Grand going to try to escape with Mascara. We'll see what they're able to do here.
Lux use Flash, but finds nothing. They use all their summoners. And while Chen is now up, he does have ultimate. He might look to engage here.
Oh, a nice charm from Val.
Getting the Vayne.
Mascara is probably going to be the target here from Warwick. Big Gimmick ultimate!
Val's still alive! Then the Mr. Gold ultimate's coming in. Mascara's killing them all.
And Mascara lives!
1 HP.
Gimmick gets the kill into RC. This is unbelievable. What is this sustain from Tarleton?
All these fights are just a constant back and forth. You never know what's gonna happen. Now
and
that
it's so
Warwick's
point
dead
the Drake is alive.
Drake's up for free. Warwick and Vayne are both dead. They're 2 carries that they have a chance to even fight with. And Mascara's just gonna go full HP off of 1 minion wave.
And Shin's is kind of gonna defend. You have the damage on Gimmick, hopefully to try and take this one out. Mascara's arriving on the scene now. I don't know if you have any way of going in here for Sac State. This is gonna be so secured for Tarleton.
It looks like no one's even gonna approach it. Man, Mundo with an Ocean Soul. Now that's gonna be something scary. Like you're talking about, whenever he gets level 16, he's level 15 now. 1 more level until this Mundo just becomes almost unkillable. We might even see a Spirit Vicious come out, and that'll just be some insane healing.
Yeah, it looks like right now he's building into Titanic. Curious to see what he goes next. Maybe a Spirit Visage, like you said.
It looks like Warwick's going to pick up another item. That's just a different component entirely. Just kind of going a very unique build, it seems. So far, Vayne just having all these anti-take items.
There's the ultimate connecting on the Gimmick. I don't know if there's anyone around to peel for Tarleton. Doesn't look like it. Flame Feet's going to get the free kill there. So now Tarleton sit with a numbers disadvantage. If there is a play on the Baron, Mr. Gold is going to push out bot lane in the meantime. Has the ult available to him. Or actually, no, he does not. He has TP, though. Tarleton want to try and stop this Baron play. Or does Big China go for some kind of steal? We're about to find out. Baron's getting the 5k HP. Val the Grand going to be the first one and lands the charm. Follow-up ultimate from Mascara. Lots of damage. Big China with the steal.
He steals it. Oh, my
Unbelievable.
Goodness.
Oh, and that one hurts if you're Sac State. But Tarleton, they're not done. Mascara's arrived. Mega taunt here from the Shin. These players are on the run. Mascara is doing the chasing. Mr. Gold, first kill on Metsu. Another kill. Double kill from Mr. Gold. Unreal from Tarleton.
We've seen this happen so many times tonight where Tarleton, they're not even the ones that are starting the objective, but they're able to finish out by getting it. Just
like, you gotta be kidding me, Big China. Coming in with the clutch steal.
Mundo just walking in, doing as he pleases.
And it's just so well timed, like the charm into the ult from Mascara. It's just so well coordinated and executed. We love to see it.
I love how Mascara went behind the Baron pit so he couldn't be attacked or counteract, because they know that they don't have Warwick ult or Mbessa ult, because they had to use both for Gimmick. And that just allows Mascara to get a free ultimate off on top of Val's ult. So far, these two have played very coordinated. Every time you're just seeing both their ultimates come out and just destroy any target that gets unfortunately caught in it.
And you see the ideas from this composition coming to life in this game. They're able to take out the mid inhibitor, and now things once again slow down. But man, Tarleton are loving their position now, sitting at almost a 10k gold lead with Ocean Soul. This Mundo is going to be a problem.
Now with that inhibitor down mid lane, will definitely allow them to just be able to hit these side lanes a lot harder while having to keep SAC State trying to keep off these super minion waves. And this should also allow them to set up for Elder Dragon. So it looks like we might see them try to play for
Oh, when the Q connects and Best is caught out, has flash available. There's going to be the TP here. Mascara and Big China having the 2v3 this one. They're going to go for it. But Val the Grand has arrived. There's the ultimate from Mascara. And it's more than enough to take down these two players. That is Mbessa and Warwick eliminated. Big China's not done. He's going to continue the chase. He's taking turret shots. He's removing the Lux from the game. That is the power of Mundo. And Tarleton might look to end right here.
And that amount of sustain that Mascara has, he gets targeted, but then Rakan comes in and shields him, and then Shen
And Val the
shields him.
Grand. He's going in again. Luck, the ultimate lands from Gimmick. Mascara is godlike. Metsu's being chased. Flashes into her fountain. Mundo, he wants it. Metsu's low. Are we going to look at a fountain dive play here? I'm not so sure. Tarleton might just look to end the game. And Mascara, the hero for Tarleton, as he gets the final frag there. Tarleton win this series 2-1. They're 1-0 in NECC.
Amazing coordination coming out from your Texans tonight. We can already see the massive upgrade they had since last week. Just showing out with these new comps. You'd love to see this fearless draft. I just can't wait to see it for the rest of the season.
Unbelievable stuff. I mean, that woke me up for sure. Like, if you thought you were tired at the beginning of this series, at the beginning of Game 3 when it was 11 p.m., I'm not feeling so tired anymore. That was an incredible display from our Texans. They were able to take this one in pretty clean fashion, I'd say. As you look at the final stats
Pretty good
here.
fashion.
Yeah,
I just gotta
couldn't
mention
come up with a word
too, if y'all been paying attention to all of our Texan teams right now, I believe we are currently undefeated in every single NECC tournament game. I just gotta
believe
say,
that's correct.
congratulations to all of our players. Yeah, just really showing out. They've been putting in the work, the practice, and you can easily tell from these games.
But yeah, that's going to do it for us tonight. I'm excited to see what we have for the rest of the season here for League of Legends. Mascara led the way in this game. 17k gold, 8-1, 48k damage, leading the way across all categories. Just an incredible display. I'd say even in the losing map in all 3 games, Mascara kind of the MVP here. Unbelievable stuff. But that is going to do it. We have Overwatch tomorrow on Friday. Really looking forward to that. But that'll do it for us here tonight. This has been Bjorddd, and I've been joined by PowPow. Thank you guys so much for watching. We'll be back next week for some more League of Legends.
See y'all then.
Appreciate it, guys.